Alrighty, hello everybody. We are back with more Barnyard Racing. We are back once again with another exciting one. This one is been a long time coming. We have two very excited, prepared competitors here today. Obviously, we have Noelle. As we all know, in terms of Noelle, she is still fairly new to the game compared to Eradix's experience, in terms of the fact that she was a part of the beginner race where Eradix actually coached her to victory, beat Yoru by a whole 40 minutes, I believe, if my memory serves me right. So, Noelle has had some good experience. She did get some coaching from me about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Did help her with some finer details in terms of Barnyard. So, in terms of her ability, it's still kind of unknown just how she's going to perform today. But she did recently get a PB, and the PB will be shown on screen once we get there. And I will talk more about each runner's PB once we get to the race itself. Eradix, someone who has been a part of the community for around 2 years now, has really shown and not shown, has really improved the game in many ways in terms of how people view golf nowadays, in terms of, I think just the overall activity of the community. He's been a very huge pioneer in terms of these races in general. I mean, I don't think we'd have these races without Eradix pushing for them to happen. Obviously, he has mentioned going for the sub 3 grind at some point in the near future, so I think this is going to be an interesting race, and I'll talk more about the dynamic of the race once we actually get into it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to today. I hope we're all excited. How are we doing, chat? Are we having a good time? It's been a while since I've done some Barnyard stuff like this, hasn't it? I've missed this game greatly. I'm not finished with it yet. I know, I know I'm taking a bit of a break from it at this moment, but this game is still always at the forefront. And I think without further ado, we're gonna kind of just get into it. I think it's time to go. I think it's time to do this shish. Alrighty. Let me quickly hop back. Hold on. Alrighty. How are we doing, racers?
Doing good.
Doing good? Good. Alrighty. Yeah, don't be nervous. Oh shit, I forgot I set the the scene transition to something longer than I anticipated. Okay. Anyways, um without further ado, if you guys are ready to go, then we can just get started here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Sweet. Here, let me make sure my timer's all ready. So obviously, ground rules. We all know the ground rules. If you don't get a flour sack, if one of you don't get a flour sack, then we're just gonna reset. Aside from that, I'm gonna be deafened. You guys are obviously free to talk to each other throughout the race if you want to. I'll probably check in about the halfway point. So just be aware of that. Anyways, I guess we'll get started. Get ready to go on go. So I'll count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, good luck to both of you. Alrighty, so here we are back again with another race. So as you guys can see, oh, hold on. I messed it up. Hold on. Hold on, let me actually adjust that really quick. There we go. We're good. Okay, so as you guys can see, there is quite a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Disparity between the two PBs that we have here. So on one hand, Noelle does have a bit of a slower time than... Oh, hold on. Exposed. I'm not paying attention to the race. So neither of them got a first flower sack. No big deal. Anyways, so as you can see, Noelle does have a much slower time than Eradix. However, the one thing that Eradix has not been doing recently is the fact that he has not been practicing this game at all. The only real practice that he's been having is really just whatever he's been watching. And, like, watching the game is not similar to playing the game. So it's going to be quite interesting to see just how well Eradix is able to play. This first minute here is obviously not really going to be that exciting, so I don't really have much to talk about in terms of that. But I do think that this race will be interesting in the fact that, you know, there's just such little practice on Erratix's end. So let's see. Noelle does get a flower sack, and we have our first reset. Sweet. All right, you guys know what time it is since you hear my voice again. Good old-fashioned Barnyard.
Classic.
Maybe one of these days we'll have a racing version of the game that makes it just easier for everyone. Okay. Anyways, we'll start on go yet again. 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again. Alrighty. So in good old-fashioned Barnyard, in good old Barnyard fashion, of course, we have no way of actually, you know, controlling the outcome of these flower sacks. However, that's not going to stop us from, you know, continuing on here. So we'll see if they get the first flower sack again. So like I mentioned, yeah, there's quite a huge, like, there's quite a difference between both players, but we'll see how it pans out for both of them. So let's see. Noelle is going to go for the flower sack. No flower sack yet again. Not a big deal. There's still 3 chances that they get one. Noelle is only going to have 4 apples, which will make things a little bit interesting. But, yeah. One thing about this game when it comes to races is obviously from the last 2 races, the only 2 races I think that we have officially done for any percent, we've not had a moment where someone has gotten out of pool ahead and not won the race. So usually because of how RNG heavy pool is, it's usually the decider for who actually wins the race. So we'll see how that plays out today. I'm not too worried about it because I do think that the skill levels of these 2 players are going to be a little, in terms of pool, I think it's going to be a little equal. So we'll see how it pans out, but and good things never last. All right, we're going to reset once again.
Yay.
I can't wait to repeat the same things I've been talking about for the last 3 minutes. That's great.
I love RNG.
All right, here we go.
Calculated it at some point. I think it's just like barely above 50% chance that both of us get a flower.
Yeah, who knows at this point. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I think at this point, this is probably going to be the last time we reset, if that's okay with you guys. Just, if the RNG doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to get this race started, man. At this point, by the time we reset it a 3rd time, it is a little silly. Seems like they didn't want that to be the case, but it's okay. Because they're going to get the flower sacks right here, right now. That's just how it works, right? Damn it. Erratix not kicking the the apple tree at the right time. The flower tree. We have flower trees in Barnyard, apparently. Alright. So yet again, this like, as you guys can see, this is a very RNG heavy run. We can't even get out the first little bit here without some issues. That's just typical Barnyard stuff for you. I'm gonna hope that this just pays off, but you know, I think after this 3rd time, if they don't get the flower sacks, then we might as well just start the run with that time loss, because it is a very long run. You know, I do have stuff I have to do today, unfortunately. So we'll see. Let's see if Noelle actually gets the flower sack. Okay, she gets it. He doesn't. Okay. We can reset one more time if you want.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Okay. I think this is going to be the last reset just because I don't want to have this, you know, going all day where we just reset over and over again.
I don't want to not reset if I don't get a flower. What the hell?
Hey man, I'm just trying to get this race going. The run is 3 hours long, so you guys will have plenty of time to save time. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, go. You will both get first flower sacks. I guarantee it. Okay. Let's try this a 4th time. This is definitely not a very slow and clunky start, but that's okay. We're just getting things started here. Okay, so we are gonna just hope that they get the flower sacks. If they don't, then, you know, they're just gonna have to live with that time loss. I think they're gonna get it though. I think now has to be the time, right? Radix does get the first flower sack, so we literally just need Noelle to get it. That's all we need right now, and then we can actually get this run started. This game, man. Yep, this game is something else. Yeah, I have no other words other than this game being, you know, the greatest thing to ever grace our screens. I can't believe that I decided to dedicate so much time to this thing, because it is quite the game, dude. Alright, we're gonna hope and pray that Noelle gets this flower sack. It would be very unfortunate if she doesn't. I don't want either runner to get discouraged, though, because obviously, you know, this is out of their control. I don't want her to be at a huge deficit, since she already is dealing with a huge time difference. Oh my gosh. Seems as though she did not get the flower sack. Okay, she finally gets it. Oh man, that's a bit unfortunate. Okay. Radix is gonna give her a bit of a chance here, though. That is fine. Good on Radix for doing that for her. I didn't want it to be unfair, because it's just, you know, having to reset multiple times just to get a race started is a bit unfair. So hats off to Radix for that. I do appreciate that he did that for her, because I don't want it to be unfair by any means at all. Gosh, you know, man. Quick little side note. I know that I should probably be worried about the voice lines here in a moment, and yeah, so they're about neck and neck at the moment. So let's see. I'm gonna unmute Radix. He actually does not have anything enabled. Noelle does not get a good voice line. I don't think Radix got one either, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. So one weird thing. Yeah, it looks like Noelle did not get a good voice line either. One weird thing, I know this is kind of just going off, you know, off track in terms of the race, but for some reason, there was an OST playlist on YouTube for Barnyard that just completely disappeared. It's very odd. Like, they completely got rid of it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the owner just, like, up and got rid of it or what happened, but it does not exist anymore, and it makes me very sad. Luckily, there's an alternative playlist, but all the songs are 30 minutes long, so not very ideal. Alright, but each racer about neck and neck at the moment. Luckily, in terms of, what was I trying to say? In terms of early game, there's only so much you can do. I know that Radix is going to go for JCSS, the old JCSS, I should mention. I did teach Noelle how to do the new method, but I guess I didn't do a good enough job, since I don't think she is going to go for it. Let's see how Radix does this mission real quick. Just missing one, yeah. Perfectly okay. Usually you want to be talking to Otis around 350 or less on the timer, so not completely ideal, but not the worst either. Noelle, oh, running out of milk already. That is not a good good way to start at all. And she is just missing one more. So that is the thing. If there's one thing I can mention about this game, it's that every little time loss will add up over time. And if there's one thing that's for sure, it's that early game can really be a thing that can screw you over if you're not being careful about, like, your time losses. The way that I like to put it is that usually you can get a good pool time if you're making less mistakes in early game. The less mistakes you make in early game, the better pool time you'll have, which is kind of just how speedrunning works, you know? Like, if you save time at a specific point, you'll be saving time, like, regardless. But, these little time losses do add up over time. So we'll see if either runner is able to control these time losses well, or just be able to save time in general. So Radix Going to be 5:04 heading out of the first Sharps quarter, which is a pretty decent time. Noel is still just trailing just a little bit behind, but still not too bad. Pool obviously is going to be a huge player within this race. We'll see how Pool dictates the rest of this run. But obviously, we're not going to worry too much about it up until we get to Pool, because although Pool is a huge moment, there's still plenty of RNG throughout the rest of the run. That will really decide, you know, how the rest of it goes. So one other ground rule that was set between both players is alt-tabbing. Basically, they just decided, you know, for the sake of fun, they're just not going to alt-tab for the mud jump missions. The reasoning, I'm not entirely sure. However, it does make things just a tiny bit more interesting for each of them. So we'll see how normal mud jumpers is actually played, which is something I think most runners of this game haven't seen in a very long time. I definitely haven't seen this game that mission be played casually in a good minute. So it's a little interesting to see it be played like this, knowing just how much time could be saved if alt-tabbing was you know, occurring. But it looks like Noel is going to be able to exit this mission hopefully soon. There we go. So yeah, Noel just has about a 12 to 15 second disadvantage at the moment, but as we can tell, things are not things are not set in stone up until we get to a certain point in the run. So we will see how the rest of this goes. One interesting thing that I think both runners are going to be doing here is picking up the flower during the egg collecting mission. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I don't do this myself. Normally, I pick up the flower during the mission where you squirt the animals for Otis, which I think most people already know. But I guess I don't think there's that much of a time difference between getting it now and then getting it in the earliest part of the game. Not that it matters too much. It is the tiniest little time save that you have to be concerned with, but it's always a little interesting to see something like that. So both players getting the animation skip as well. Luckily, no problems there. I know Erratix had a bit of a hiccup on that animation skip, so luckily Noel was able to get it just a little bit faster. We will be coming up to another moment here for Noel where you have to be doing a bunch of animation skips. Because she's fairly new, she did end up getting 2 in 1, actually. She got the 2 for 1, which is really good. This is... Oh, another one. Nice. So she ended up getting 2 for 1s, which will end up saving probably about a second. Not that it's a huge time save, but, you know, it does help in terms of, you know... Any time save is good time save in speedrunning. So we'll take whatever we can get. But considering Erratix seemed to have a bit of a hard time with the flowers, maybe it helped her in a little bit. Alright, so Erratix setting up for old JCSS. As we all know, there's a new setup for JCSS where you actually stay within the bounds of the barnyard. You know, it seems as though he has not been able to learn it. As though, I mean, I say that as if there is a tutorial to learn from, but currently no tutorial for that JCSS. Looks like Noel might be going for it as well, which I did not expect, to be honest. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, Erratix going for it. I know he said that he might have a hard time. He gets a first try. At least he got the jump first try. Looks like he's a bit confused that he got it first try. Oh, but he stays in bounds. That will be losing him a good bit of time there. I mean, he did end up on the top, but, you know, it seems as though he has a bit... Oh my gosh, barely gets up top. Yeah, jumping a little bit early, which might make it a little harder for him to do. Looks like Noel wanted... Oh, no way. Noel is going for the new one. I did teach her how to do this. Oh my god, I completely forgot that she is on a different resolution, which will make this a little interesting. She ends up hitting it! Oh my god, that actually saves her so much time. Noel is back in the lead doing the 67 setup. Oh my god, that's insane. I didn't realize she practiced this at all. That's crazy. So she is now in the lead going into pool. Holy shit. Very unexpected. I did not think she was going to pull it out. Oh my god. Secret sub 3 as 67 puts in the chat. Oh my god. That's actually insane. That's actually... I fully did not expect that to be the case. The fact that she has that in her back pocket to put her in the lead? Whoo! Whoo! That's crazy, man. And this is what's so exciting about Barnyard Races, is that you never know what to expect with each runner. You know, I think it being a race setting, I think some runners feel the need to pull out some tricks that they've never done before, which is what's so great about not just this game, but speedrunning in general, is that a race setting can really bring out the great in an individual. It's quite fascinating to see. All right, so Noelle already leaving as Erratix is entering. Insane stuff we're seeing already, dude. I am absolutely baffled at what I'm seeing. Now the thing is, it looks like both runners do not do any sort of buffering. Erratix actually did buffer out of the load screen, but it was not anything too crazy. He was running in the direction of Joey, so now we get to the point where we are gonna be seeing some nice little pool gameplay. So let me pull out this this soundtrack here. God, I wish this soundtrack was not copywritten on YouTube. I love this one so much. But yep, both runners entering at about sub 12 minutes. That's pretty good. Pretty good for a pool entry at their levels. Or a barn entry, I should say, at their levels. Alright. There's not much I can really say about pool at this point. I know that pool is pretty much just, you know, luck of the draw. We all know this by now. It's going to be very interesting to see just how well they're able to play this mission, but there's also the chance of Duke hitting in the black ball. So you never really know what's going to happen in this mission. But we're just going to hope that each player gets a fairly good, you know, fairly good pool. That'd be pretty nice. All right, let's see if Noelle's break is decent. She does get a yellow in right away. See what Erratix does. Is he going to get a red? He does get a red. So each player gets the different colored balls here already. Noelle already sinking in her second one, same as Erratix. But he does scratch, which does make things a little interesting. Duke does break it up a little bit more for Erratix as well. Noelle making her third shot as on top of that too. Fourth one, nice and easy. No black ball from Duke for Erratix, which looked like it had a chance. Noelle making some pretty good shots so far. Only has 2 left. Let's see if she's able to close it out cleanly. Has some pretty difficult shots though, so... Oh my goodness. And she only has 1 left. Erratix having to actually restart pool, which does make things a little interesting. Alright, let's see what Duke does for Noelle here. Okay, not much. I don't think she can really do much with this shot, but she does have a chance of making it. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate positioning of the white ball there. Erratix getting the black ball in from Duke, and he's on PB pace now. From that alone, he's on PB pace already. Insane. Like this is what makes Barnyard speedrunning so crazy, is that anything could happen. Anything could happen. Looks like Noelle might not be too far behind, though. So this race might actually be fairly close. Erratix might be the first out of pool, but we have a close race. We officially have a close race. For the first time in any percent Barnyard speedrunning racing history, we might actually have a close race. So we are going to see how this plays out for both players. But I don't think we've ever had a race this close. I think it's always been... someone is far ahead of the other just because of how pool goes alone. So now that we're here, we'll see how this plays out. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I mean, obviously I'm interested because I'm the one commentating this shit. But I'm interested to see how this plays out from here on out, knowing that each runner has pretty much an equal advantage. So we'll see how this goes. Noelle, although does have a bit of a time loss here, is not that far behind, and like I mentioned, with Barnyard, anything could happen. I think the lack of warm-up and practice from Erratix will come into play here, considering that Noelle did do a run recently, and she did get that 323 fairly recently as well. We'll see how she's able to pull it off. But Erratix is also working from a bit of a disadvantage, as he did end up giving Noelle a bit of a head start to make things a little even, because at this point, you know, it was a bit unfair that he got the first flower sack, and then it took her about like 6 flower sacks to actually get one. So good sportsmanship coming from Erratix. Thankfully, he's such a good man for doing something like that, just to make sure things are even and fair. Alright. Neither of them getting the 1 cycle for Tease the Mailman. I was going to say something if Noelle did actually get it, but unfortunately she did not. One thing that I know is in play for Erratix, at least, is BTBs. I know that I taught Noelle a couple of them. I don't know that she will add them to her gameplay, but considering she did do a run recently, we'll see how that goes. Gets a nice little 18 speed off that BTB. That's pretty good. Good placement on the bike for Erratix as well, right before this bike race. And one thing I'm curious to see in terms of the bike race as well is just how well they can manage their stamina. It seems as though Noelle is spamming the sprint key a little faster than you would like to, I think, on the bike. But hopefully that doesn't become a factor. So Noelle does not go for that BTB. Not that it makes much of a difference, as she only was 1 less speed than Erratix was down that slope. So that's interesting. He does actually go for it there, but that jump kind of didn't do anything for him. If anything, it lost him time, because you do lose a tiny bit of speed each time you go for a jump, is the main thing about BTBs that people do need to understand, is that you do have to ensure that you are not losing time because you're getting a slow BTB, which is a lot easier said than done. We'll see if he's able to get a good one here. Nope. Yeah, Erratix, like I said, it's been a minute since he's actually played this game, so he's going to be losing time to the fact that he's just had little to no practice before this race. However, it's not as though he's playing bad at all. It's just a matter of how well can he perform under this pressure of not only being ahead, but being in this race setting, which is a setting that I don't think many runners are used to. Yeah, he'll definitely go for Joyride 3 skip. But yeah. These jumps are coming into play a little bit here for Erratix. Seems as though he is gaining a tiny bit of an advantage just off the jumps alone. He's not doing back tire stuff too much. At least he's not leaning as far back as I personally would, but he's still finding ways to like save time off of that alone. So Erratix about halfway done with the race, as Noelle is catching up little by little. Halfway done through the second lap, I should say. But yeah, as you can see, there's quite a difference between doing these jumps and not doing them. Erratix will be gaining a bit of a lead just off the jumps alone. But as you can tell, there's still a lot of run left. So although he is gaining a bit of an advantage at the moment, there's nothing stopping Noelle from taking the lead at some point. Alright, as Erratix leaves, he is going to be picking up these vegetables at the vegetable patch, as well as the strawberries, of course, which obviously are not vegetables. Let me just adjust this just a tiny little bit. There we go. Excuse me. God, I can't get this right. Who cares? Alrighty. So, Erratix, fairly, I mean, I wasn't paying attention, but obviously, you know, there's only so much time you could save on the veggie patch. It's really just micro optimizations in terms of pressing sprint at the right times between vegetables, as well as getting animation skips, but they don't really play a factor in terms of the overall time save that each runner could get. But it looks like we're going to be exiting the chapter about late 21 to about 22 minutes for each runner. Seems as though Radix is going to be out at around 21:35 would be my... Not 35, maybe a little... Maybe like 30-something. Noelle will probably be exiting at around... Or ending the chapter around 22 minutes would be my assumption. Another thing that has come into play recently, at least in terms of not losing time... the reverse log jump has gotten a lot easier due to some tech that I came up with in terms of wheeling right before you jump across the log. So we'll see if Radix has that in his back pocket. Not that it's a very hard thing to pull off, but it does make the trick super duper consistent. Although there is still room for error, so we'll make sure that he actually does it. He does not. He actually opted not to do the wheelie there. So I don't know if Radix actually knows that he can do that to ensure that it's a little safer. But Radix having a really good, I almost said episode 1 as if I'm playing, as if this is LEGO Star Wars. Having a good chapter 1 exit at 21:23. He even golded that split as well. So Radix is actually on a bit of a heater at the moment. I think Noelle actually is on a really good pace as well, considering her PB is about, what, 14 minutes lower than Radix's? So that's really good. I couldn't tell if she did the wheelie there, but she might have done the wheelie. So Noelle will be exiting at around 21:58, I believe. Maybe give her probably 22 flat. Let's see. Yeah, 22 flat is where Noelle will be exiting Chapter 1, but she is still doing pretty dang good for her time. We'll see how the rest of this plays out. But so far, she's doing pretty good for her weight class, I'd say. Because of the fact that she's not at sub 320, I think having a 22-minute Chapter 1 is really good. It's just a matter of how she finishes. Because, you know... Radix is pretty well out of her weight class in terms of their times. It's pretty insane, just like how different each runner is going to be playing. What's the song I'm looking for? Oh God. Actually, I'll save that one for later. It's okay. I'll just go back to day 4 because this is a jammer. What is this playlist? It's the Barnyard OST, my brother. Okay, so as we enter the timed missions, now is a great time to, you know, just grab a snack, go do something else, because this is, you know, one of the most boring sets of missions. This is the most boring chapter. Once we get out of Raccoon Season, it's going to be smooth sailing. It'll actually be a lot of, you know, skill involved, but, you know, considering 3 of the 9 timed missions in this game happen within this chapter, we're going to be, you know, chugging along here little by little, as this is not a very entertaining part of the run. But no big deal, as the run will pick up once we get to Coyote Season. I honestly could see Noelle taking the lead in Coyote Season, but it really depends just how well Radix is able to play more than anything else. But each runner is honestly impressing me more than I thought I would be. Yeah, it's quite impressive that Noelle was able to do new JCSS. I honestly expected her not to go for any trick at all. I fully thought that she wasn't going to do it at all. And we do get an Owazi spin from Noelle. So that's good for her if she needs a moment to just gather herself. Looks like Radix is going to chance... okay, he's just getting up for 1 second. No big deal. Lucky for him, he has water that's just sitting right there next to his desk. So, Radix leaving early as well. That's good for him. But, yeah, both runners on a pretty good pace so far, as we can see. Noelle still about, like, 20 to 30 seconds behind, which is not honestly that bad of a disadvantage for this game. One of the huge missions, of course, that involves RNG, metal detector, will play a huge part in if one runner is able to take an advantage over the other. The big thing with that being the knowledge of each runner of where each dig spot is in case they get bad RNG, of course. Noelle leaving early as well, good for her. I know that Yoru had some problems with that, but obviously Noelle has played this game so much at this point that that's not really a concern in her eyes. Because after a certain point in speedrunning a game, you make so many mistakes that eventually you start doing the right thing, because you just start to remember it over time. And, as someone learning a new speed game myself, I keep making mistakes within runs that, I really shouldn't be making each and every time. But the only way you learn is that you do make those mistakes, and then you learn from it from there. Yeah, like you said, Debbie, Noelle has improved a lot. Definitely, I mean, the beginner race, she got a 326. So it definitely, she definitely improved a good bit just from that time of racing alone. But since then, I did give her some coaching about little things here and there that she can improve on. She already adopted the new JCSS, as I freaked out over at the very start of the run. So that alone shows that she has put in some time to make sure that she can actually pull off some of these tricks. And it's really thanks to 67 for her being able to learn that. So yeah. Once again, just another mission where there's not really much happening. So yeah. It's good to see each of the people, or each runner's communities showing out for this race as well. So thank you all for showing up today. I know this wasn't really hyped up as much as the other races we've had before. And that's just because we've already hyped up this race beforehand. Erratix, of course, had some unfortunate things happen within his life that stopped him from being able to participate in the race, that the originally planned time we had before. But obviously, we're here now. We're doing it. They're on good pace. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far. But yeah, just chugging along here, chugging along through these boring missions. Once we get past these ones, I'm looking forward to how the rest of this run goes. I think Coyote season, like I said, will be a very exciting time for this race. Otis in Charge will also be a good time, I believe, because Otis in Charge, just like Coyote season, has a lot of skilled missions and it's, I think, in terms of skill plus time, it is one of the hardest chapters in the game. Coyote season is easily the hardest one to actually get a good run out of, but Otis in Charge is easily the hardest one, the second hardest one. So we'll see how each runner is doing by then. Hopefully no catastrophic things happen to each of them. It'd be nice to see them be on a similar pace throughout this run, especially since I don't know what kind of pace Noelle has. It'll be interesting to see, and especially the fact that Erratix is already ahead of PB at this moment in time. It's going to be interesting to see just how RNG and skill in general just plays a factor here for each runner. But Erratix already going on to Ben's Hill Sharpsquarter. We finally have somewhat of a skill mission. I know that this is one Sharpsquarter that many runners don't enjoy playing, just due to the fact that there's what feels like RNG at play here, but it's really just a lot of precise movement. So we'll see if Erratix is able to pull this off cleanly. I know that Noelle impresses me with... she impressed me with this mission when I coached her previously. So we'll see how this goes. But Erratix starting off with round 1 here. Taking his time, which I think is the right play to go here for in a race setting. I think playing it safe is right for Ben's Hill Sharpsquarter for sure. He does get all the cans with 1 squirt, which is a good time save. He is picking up some extra milk that he doesn't need to pick up, but it's no big deal because he's finishing out round 2 pretty quickly here. So yeah, about a 20 to 30 second difference between the two runners still. Not that the timed missions would have changed much, but yeah, Erratix finishing it fairly cleanly. Let's see how Noelle does here. Yep, just like Erratix, taking her sweet time to ensure that there's no big mistakes here. Nothing wrong with that. Erratix does end up golding there, which is a bit surprising, but it seems... Yeah, no, actually, that does make sense. I know how he's played these missions before, but it seems as though he's lost time somewhere. I wasn't paying full attention. He lost time on leaving Ben's Hill, so that could play a role a little bit later. He is doing some extra jumps down Ben's Hill, which is surprising me, as I don't even go for some of these jumps. But it seems like Noelle is going to be finishing out fairly cleanly here. Almost. Had one can left. But yeah, seems as though Noelle was able to do that fairly cleanly. Like I said, she took her time just to ensure that things were going to go well. Which honestly, like I said, for runners at this level, it's respectable that they don't go for anything risky. Although it would give them a huge advantage if they put in that time in practice to, you know, ensure that they could save some time by going a little faster. I think there's some respect in not going for things like, you know, faster Ben Hill Sharp Squirter, because like I mentioned, it is one of those Sharp Squirters where it feels like RNG, but it's just very precise movement if you want to play it fast. So although they didn't play it as fast as they could, I think the way they played it was perfect. So Erratix entering at 31:18. I'm gonna just see when Noelle enters the Gopher Underground, just to give a proper estimate of just how far behind she actually is. Alright, Erratix biting his items and already exiting. Seems as though, yeah, it looks like Noelle is about a little over 30 seconds behind Erratix here. Is that really? Okay. I think they... Dude, I hate this OST playlist. 30-minute songs and they messed it up. Oh, so she's actually a little more than that. Looks like she's at about a 45-second disadvantage at the moment. And that is the thing that Erratix is going to be able to, you know, take advantage of, is the fact that he's had more time with this game. So, although he has little to no practice before this this race, he is going to have a bit of an advantage just due to the fact that he's had so much experience playing this game. However, Noelle did play this game fairly recently and did get a new PB, as I've mentioned before, so... We will see. Maybe she has some more tricks up her sleeve, I mean, than we anticipated, clearly. I'm still just trying to, like, catch my breath from that freaking JCSS she pulled off. I'm still so impressed with it. But, yeah, as I mentioned, Raccoon Season, just one of those chapters where not a lot happens, so not a very entertaining part of the run, not really much time saved to be picked up here, outside of very, very small optimizations that Noelle can hopefully find somewhere along the way, but yeah, we'll see if Erratix has any big slip-ups on this this sleep split when he has to do the roundup mission for Otis. But yeah, so long as Noelle gets all of these animation skips, it seems as though she'll be fine. So Erratix already headed out of the barnyard. Luckily, we do have the honey skip, obviously, so it's not like Noelle is going to be having to go to the Walnut Woods and collect honey or anything like that. Still just a little under a minute behind, but no huge time loss. Oh my gosh, Erratix, like I said, the reverse log jump has become a lot easier since I came up with the wheelie strat. And it seems as though Erratix has not picked up on that strat at all. So that could be a factor at some point in this run. It did not become a factor there, but, you know, he still has one more reverse log jump he has to do here on this mission. So we'll see how it goes. If there's one thing I can say for sure, Erratix definitely has a bit more comfortability on the bike when it comes to BTBs and getting some extra speed here and there. He's definitely taking advantage of bike movement more than Noelle is, which is just a factor of experience and, you know, I know that the bike movement, although she did the wheelie strat, she had pretty much no speed there, which I think made it so that Noelle was not able to actually pull off that trick easily. But yeah, the experience with BTBs and running in general is just going to be a huge factor for Erratix here. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate that she did end up losing some time. Luckily, it's only like a 3-second time loss, ish, probably 3 to 5 if I were to guess. But yeah, Noelle is going to be losing some more time, unfortunately, there. So at this point, we have to hope for Noelle's sake that Erratix does actually fall into the water. I think because Noelle is the underdog here, I am pulling a bit more for her, and the fact that I also, you know, coached her more recently. I know that Erratix has the capability of actually saving a lot of time, and even probably PBing with this current pace he's at. So, although I want him to PB, I also want Noelle to PB by a lot too. Which it seems like she does have a good chance of doing. Yeah, although each runner is at a different level of their Barnyard speedrunning career, it still is a fairly close race, all things considered. Erratix did get pretty dang lucky with that pool, for sure. I guess that's just kind of a common theme when it comes to these races, is just Duke hitting in the black ball. I don't know what it is, but, you know, the race setting really brings out the interesting factors of Barnyard. It's very odd. It's odd that it happens, like, what feels like so frequently. Radix having some trouble with the bike here. That is going to cost him a couple seconds for sure. Duke gets nervous, exactly. I don't know what it is about Duke, but he seemingly has some nerves when it comes to these races. I don't know what it is. But he did play a huge factor in Noelle's massive lead in the beginner race. So, once again, Noelle having a hard time with the reverse log jump. It is one of those tricks that takes a little bit of practice just to get down. So it doesn't hurt to ever, you know, continually do jumps over and over and over again. But it seems as though Noelle is just going to have a bit of a harder time than Erratix here when it comes to that trick. Luckily, there's not many more reverse log jumps from here on out, so no big deal. But as we can see on, you guys probably can't see it as well as I can, but Erratix's best possible is a 3:04.28, which is around where 67's second place time is. So that is pretty interesting. We'll see if he's able to gold anything from here on out. But I think once we get to golf, it's going to be a little bit harder to, you know, save more time here, like, save more time in general is what I'm trying to say. God, I'm running out of things to play. Whack-a-rack. Isn't the Whack-a-rack theme just... Oh, no, it's that. Okay, that's right. But, yeah, Erratix still on a good pace. About 41 seconds ahead of his PB right now, which, as we can tell, is fairly decent. But, yeah, we are going to be finishing out the final timed mission for Raccoon Season. We do have Chicken Launch up next, which I know that Noelle does have a bit of a hard time getting through, so hopefully nerves don't play a factor for her. But we'll see how that goes. Go for Golf will definitely be more of a factor, which I know Noelle has a good bit of experience on. So we'll see if Erratix is able to outperform her in that sense, but knowing that Noelle has played this game recently, did a 6-hour stream where she only played the front 9. It's going to be interesting to see just how similar and different each player plays golf. But I think I'm going to be right back. I'm going to just grab some water real quick as, you know, this final timed mission plays out. Because although the timed missions are so fun, I need some water. Alrighty. Alright. So, Erratic's already moving on to the next day, as Noelle is finishing up the last bit of this mission. Only so much you can do, but no worries. Did grab some food as well, I can't lie to you guys. I'm just gonna take a quick bite, because I'm a little hungry. Commentators gotta take care of themselves. Okay, anyways. So we are moving on to chicken launch. I don't think Erratix is gonna have a hard time with this mission. I think he uses mouse, which I'm not sure if Noelle does as well. But I guess we'll find out once we actually get to the mission itself. Yeah, Erratix's movement is very, very smooth, so he's definitely using his mouse. Noelle falling off the bike. That is one of the strange things about the sleeping area, is leaving the sleeping area, that can happen. You can easily fall off the bike, which is really, really unfortunate. It does get the animation skip pretty quickly too. That's good. Does bump into the gate as it opens though, which is something that can happen. Erratix did jump though. He golds again. Oh my goodness. Erratix just yet again saving more and more time, despite the fact that he spent so much time away from this game. This could be the start of something insane as far as I'm aware, but we'll have to wait and see until Metal Detector comes along. He does get an accidental BTB as well, which is insane. Alright, like I said, I don't really know if Noelle... It looks like... Yeah, it looks like she is using the keys for movement here, which is not a big deal. But it can be a bit finicky to control with the keys, so always got to be a little bit careful when using the keys on chicken launch. But she's playing it safe, just going to go for the 10. But yeah, Erratic's already in hole 2 of golf. We'll see what hole Noelle enters as Erratic's is in golf already. Alright, finishing up hole 2 as she finishes the dialogue with Peck. Seems as though she's going to be entering, excuse me, entering golf as he is going to be going into hole 4, which is about a little under a minute still, about a minute time difference between the two. But nothing too crazy. So yeah, right as he's in hole 4, she's going to be entering into hole 1 here. So this is when things get a little bit interesting. From here on out, I think most of these missions are going to really just be the deciding factor. I mean, there's going to be a lot of moments for Noelle to catch up on Erratix's big lead. But hopefully they're able to do that still while Erratix is able to PB. It would be really nice to see him PB pretty massively here, despite not playing the game for a really, really, really long time. Alright, they're about 3 holes apart, which is not a big deal, but anything could happen within this run from here on out. The thing about the front 9 is that there's not really a lot of opportunity to lose time as there is to just, you know, keep your time neutral. There is little improvements you can make in the front 9, but it's a lot easier said than done. So it's a little hard to say. I guess I forgot to do that. Good point. It's a little late for it now, but, you know, why not? I can't see the... Bruh. Hold on. I'll do it for 15 minutes. Actually, we'll do it at the halfway point. We'll see how the RNG goes, and then we might actually do the prediction then. I want it to be fair, because otherwise it's not going to be that fair. What just happened with the Radix? The ball hit the side of the deck and then bounced back up. What the heck was that? What? How did she miss both of those? That looked fine. And it's... Wait. What is happening? She missed both arrows and it still went to the top left quadrant. What just happened? Noel having a hard time with hole 7. That's fine. Yeah, what? Alright, looks like Noel is going to be a little over a minute behind at this rate, which is not great, but... You know, we do have metal detector coming up here in just a moment, so... We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm over this song. Alright, we're going to move on from the Barnyard soundtrack for a little bit. We're just going to go to one that I know that is good. I'd make a snack, but there's no time. It looks like it's going to be about a minute and a half difference between the two. Which is a bit unfortunate, but it's not the worst in the world. I think we've seen a much bigger range of time loss in previous races, so... Unless Radix does, like, get really insane RNG, Noel still does have a decent chance here. Brain fart on Radix's end there, as we saw. Alright. Noel finally exiting out of chapter 2 here. This is the chapter where things get interesting. Although it seems like Radix is building a pretty nice lead for himself, Noel does still have a decent chance. It's just a matter of RNG as well as execution on Radix's end here, but so far this is a pretty good race, I'd say. A lot closer than I thought it would be, to be honest. But Radix doing the mission for Otis to obtain the metal detector, of course, as we know. Alright, and like I said, BTBs are going to be a bit of a factor for Radix. It doesn't save that much time over not doing it, but, you know, a little bit of time save does go a long way, so... At the very least, he is doing that. Oh, Noel, good stop. Good recovery there. I fully expected her to run into the wall. I did not think that she would be able to stop herself. Does actually get the animation canceled as well with the water, which is really good. Seems as though these little tiny optimizations are going to be, you know, adding up to some nice leads. She doesn't fall in the water like Radix did, too. Which does give her a bit of some... It's just a tiny little bit of, you know, chipping away at that lead that Radix has. But we are coming up on metal detector for Radix here. So let's see how things go for him, because this mission can really decide the rest of this run. He does go to the left, which is not really ideal. Gets 0 cans at the sleeping area, which is, of course, you know, the worst that you could possibly get. But is he going to end up talking to Duke? Okay, I was gonna say, he might as well, he should have talked to Duke, honestly, but... Oh well. Does get 3 from the clothesline. Let's see what he gets from this next spot. Okay, so that's actually all the RNG that he needs right there. He's gonna just go into the barn and exit, because why would you chance it with all the other dig spots? But that is pretty good RNG. It seems like he's not gonna be golding this split, but I think he might be saving at least a little bit of time. If not, he's gonna be keeping his lead, which is more important than anything else. But let's see what Noelle does. Let's see what Noelle gets in terms of her RNG, because that's really gonna be a huge factor of whether or not she's gonna get she's gonna be able to take advantage or be able to reobtain the lead. One thing of note from the beginner race that I do remember is that Noelle had probably the most insane RNG you could ask for when it comes to these missions. She had, you know, Duke hit in the black ball almost immediately, and then she had, like, almost perfect can RNG, from what I remember. I even remember saying something along the lines of, why can't I get this luck in my PBs? Because it was just that good. So... hopefully she remembers the dig spots. Hopefully the dig spots give her enough cans. Otherwise, oh, she only gets 1 from the clothesline. That's not good. I hope she gets 2 from the second one at least. Okay, she does get 2. I do think I remember telling her the other dig spots as well. So we'll see if she remembers. Oh man. The RNG is just not going her way at the moment. Seems like she is going to remember. She does remember this spot, which is good. That is at least 1 can. Hopefully she's able to get a... oh, looks like she is going to get a couple more over here. So she's actually not doing that bad. I think she missed 1 other can, but I think she's just going to reload the spawns, which is a smart move to do. Luckily for her, I didn't see if Erratix did the gaming guy thing. I don't think he did. But yeah, that is going to lose her a good bit of time, unfortunately. But at the very least, she does know the backup spots. So, you know, instead of, you know, feeling like this run is hopeless, she's still able to somewhat be behind Erratix here. But looks like something happened. I don't know what happened on Erratix's end, but he said he had some kind of reaction to something happening. My guess is that Noelle said her RNG for each dig spot, and that that was his reaction to the RNG. But unfortunately, Noelle is not going to get the luck that she had during the beginner race, which is a bit unfortunate. But Erratix is going to be going on to BD Farm, Sharp Squirter, which, from the look of things, if he's able to do it optimally, he should be able to gold this split by a good bit. But I do know that BD Farm is one of those Sharp Squirters that he has a pretty hard time on, just like most runners. So we'll see how it goes. Noelle is going to set up for the quick, to get on top of the barn pretty quickly. Let's see how Erratix does this Sharp Squirter first round. Okay, he plays it a little safe, which I actually do appreciate. Okay, does miss 1 of those cans, which is a bit unfortunate. Noelle getting on top of the barn pretty quickly. Not doing the gaming guy thing, as that is a very niche half-second time save. Not that I expected either runner to go for it, as it, like I said, it saves almost no time. But, you know, that little bit of time save can end up saving you a lot if done right, so... yeah, it does not look like Erratix is going to be able to gold this. I mean, he still has a chance, maybe. I do know that he splits a little later than I do, so my timing of splits is going to be a little bit different. He is wasting some milk there, which might be a factor here. But he's still doing this fairly well. Running out of milk, that is going to cost him some time. I do know that Noelle does know the routing pretty well, but, you know, obviously, the routing, no, the knowledge of the routing can only do so much for you in terms of execution. So Radix is going to be a full minute ahead now officially. A full minute ahead out of BD Farm is a really, really good start. The first hour of the game does really matter a lot. So the fact that he's able to have a lead like that against PB is huge. Still a lot of game left. Still, you know, still got at least 2 hours. So, oh, I didn't see if Noelle picked up cherries. It did not look like she picked up any cherries, so I think she's going to have to collect those after the mission. But, oh no, I think I just missed it. I think that's all that happened. Clearly, I'm paying attention. But I think I did teach Noelle a little bit of this routing, so we'll see if she's able to pull it off. Ooh, bit sketchy, but she does end up, you know, doing it. Nice. Does get the 2 cans in 1 squirt, which is a little faster than Radix did it, so that's good. I like that she did a little aim there before going for that can that you know, squirt out of bounds to get. That is really good. Nice. That is the one thing that I do remember from coaching Noelle, is that she's able to get these squirts where you get 2 with 1 squirt really, really well. It actually surprised me so much, because that is something that I even struggle with to this day. It impresses me that she's able to do it so cleanly. So we'll see how she's able to close out the rest of this mission. Like, it is so clean how she just was able to do that, and she's gaining a tiny bit of an advantage over Radix on this sharp squirter alone. So let's see where she's at about now. Yeah, it's looking like she's going to be almost a little under 2 minutes behind Radix at this moment in time. But she's still on a really good pace. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. God, this soundtrack is so good. Oh, and Noelle is having to use the map to make sure she knows where she's going, which is gonna lose her a bit of time, of course. Nothing wrong with using the map, though. That is something that I think a lot of runners are a little afraid to go towards, but when you're a new runner, it is nice. It's nice that she's willing to, you know, take that time loss despite the fact that she's, you know, clearly at a bit of a disadvantage. I think it's smart to use the map when you don't know where you're going, just to make sure you know where you are going. And that is one of the things that I taught Yoru back when we were doing the beginner race, is that if you don't know where you're going, just use the map. Get knowledgeable of what the map looks like and where you are on the map and all that stuff, but don't be afraid to use it. That's like the big thing that I think I preached pretty heavily, because I didn't know that Noelle was going to use that entire week to do runs and stuff, because Yoru obviously did not have the time. So, you know, aside, if you're a person who's just wanting to get into this game, the best thing you can do is just use that map when needed, alongside like the tutorial and just, or not the tutorial, but the guide for any percent, since it's written out and not like a video or anything like that. Okay, so as Radix is finishing veggie defense, Noelle is a little over halfway with the mission. Veggie defense 3 will obviously be another mission that is really going to be a scary one for both runners, so we'll see how that goes once we get to that one. But this one is pretty lackluster, I'd say. There's not really much that you can do with this mission. Noelle is just doing it casually, though. She's not... Excuse me. She's not letting the raccoons, you know, pile up in front of one hole. She's just taking care of business right when they spawn in, which I think is a good way of going about things, just to ensure that you do the mission cleanly. But Joyride, one of those missions where you can't really save a lot of time, but you can lose a lot of time if you make a mistake. For example, if you crash into a wall and it's not like let's say for example you full stop into a wall, it's gonna be about a 5-second loss, if not more, depending on how bad the crash is. Flipping on your side as well is another huge way to lose time. Flipping upside down is a huge way to lose time as well. There's a lot that can go wrong within these joyrides if you're not careful. Excuse me. And one funny thing is that Erratix actually has miles per hour on his version of the game, while I have kilometers per hour, and you know, I'm the American and he's the Dutch person, so it's a bit funny that our you know, our speedometers are different. But it seems like he's not going to have a hard time with this Joyride. Joyride 1 is one of those ones where you don't have to play it risky to, you know, do anything, to, like, do much with it. Like Joyride 1 is just one of those missions where it's really only the, like, beginning and the end that you can, like, really mess up. And the end is just a matter of taking clean lines more than anything else, which it seems like Erratix is doing, so... Also, hello, gaming guy. Alright, she's going to sleep just as he's exiting Joyride 1, which he golds somehow. I don't know what's going on with Erratix, but he is just having himself a day right now. He is just saving time, like, everywhere, it seems like. It's actually insane just how well he's performing despite the lack of practice that he has. Like, I'm at a loss for words. Like, I really don't know what I can say about this run. I'm more impressed. Maybe he pops out saying, like, oh, I was practicing this whole time. I was fooling you guys, but he's a very honest person, so I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's simply just playing really good Barnyard compared to what he used to. And that might be due to the fact that he's watched my gameplay so much. Maybe some of the, like, info stuck in his head about, like, where he can save time, and you know, that really is a factor that comes into play here. So about like 30 minutes from now, I will be checking in on the runners just to see where they're at. I'll probably wait till Noelle is in Freddy's dream just to make sure each runner is doing good. Just because Erratix is at a huge advantage, I just want to make sure that Noelle isn't you know, getting distracted on important missions or anything like that, as she is the more inexperienced runner here. But at the same time, they're on such good paces that I don't want to distract them at all, pretty much. Alright. Looks as though Noelle is going to be... Let's see. Yep, still about just under 2 minutes behind, which is honestly not that bad of a disadvantage, considering what can happen within a run like Barnyard. So we'll see if Erratix is able to do some clean Gopher Trap pickups here. Gopher Traps is one of those missions where precise movement and menuing is really, really, really important. But, you know, one small mistake can lead to really a 6-second time loss. For example, let's say Erratix opens up the menu and puts on the sunglasses. He has to wait for that animation of putting on and then taking off just to use the metal detector again. So he really has to be careful not to lose time on this mission, or else it can really just snowball into Noelle saving a lot of time. So, lucky for him, he's got it pretty easy at the moment. One thing that is of note with the menuing in terms of the inventory for this game is that it really does... There's a lot of factors that go into play in terms of how the inventory works for this mission, specifically items, or the Gopher Traps, I mean. The metal detector moves based off of what inventory slot you had beforehand, and this and that, and it's really just stuff you have to know in order to save a good bit of time. So Erratix really only lost a second there because of him going to the left once, but that was really only his only real time loss. So very clean Gopher Traps from Erratix. But Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he's able to do items for kilometers, as his splits say. Looks like he's gonna be almost golding. Okay, yeah, no, he's not saving any time there on Gopher Traps. Not that it's a split they can really save time on, but you know, it is nice when you do it cleanly. Very, very interesting movement coming from Erratix there. That was something else for sure. Oh, he's looking at my stream. Quit looking at my reaction, man. Don't look at me. Focus on the game. I'm trying to communicate with him, but he's locked back in. All right. Noelle going to be doing a similar pathing to Erratix, so they do end up going to the left almost immediately, which is not something that I personally do, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference, I don't think, depending on, or in terms of what you want to do. So it looks like Noelle is actually taking an extra second just to make sure she doesn't accidentally have the Gopher Trap in her hand, which I honestly think is a respectable way to do this mission, as, you know, having the metal detector move around within the inventory can really just mess you up overall. So I think the fact that she's ensuring that she's not doing anything like too crazy is actually a good thing. All right, let's see if Erratix gets this rope bounce though. No bounce. Oh, okay. Very risky movement coming from Erratix there. Wow, that was something else. It's funny because I can see him looking at his other monitor to see like my reaction to certain things. Oh man, I love this community, dude. This community's great, man. Erratix has really been a huge part of why this community has become so great. Not that he's like the lone person that has like, you know, made it so great, but it's really cool to just see like how passionate people can be for a game as silly as this one is. It really is. It's a joy. It's a joy to be, you know, the leader, really just the trailblazer of this community, and just seeing how it's grown over the years. It's really awesome to see just like how into it people are, and you know, it's races like these that really bring out the best in this game, I think. And you know, clearly we've seen some very, very funny things happen today. That was actually a very clean spin around for Erratix on that pickup for the cog, is it? I think it's the cog. Yeah, it's the cog. The U-cog. Sorry, that's a reference to a streamer. Alright, but Erratix is going to pick up the steering wheel. I'm so used to doing ladder glitch that I feel like he should just instantly teleport back to Miles, but he's not. But this has been a pretty good race so far. I've been enjoying this a good deal so far. I hope that Noelle is able to pick up some speed here at some point and hopefully gain an advantage over Erratix. That'd be pretty cool. Not that I expect it to happen, but you know. Oh. Okay. That does end up losing time, but that's not a terrible strat considering the weird stuff Erratix did do on the dock. As far as I'm aware, that could save time if Noelle has, you know, more stamina than she actually does have. But that wasn't that bad. I don't think that's a terrible strat to go for, because you do instantly pick up the rope, which is a nice luxury. But of course, if you don't ride the bike onto the dock, then you do have to run back to the bike. So I don't think that's a terrible strat to go for beginners. But Erratix is already going on to Bike Race 2, which is a very, very technical mission, and one of those ones that is very scary if you are going for BTBs, which I know he is not gonna be going for. So we'll see how Erratix is able to perform here. I think he goes for the beginning BTB, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, 15 speed. He's not even overtaking Eddie there, so that BTB saves pretty much almost no time. You really do have to lean back on the bike if you really want to save time on that bike race, or on this bike race at the start there. But yeah, this is one of those bike races that, like, it's really important that you just don't make mistakes. I think that's the one thing that you really have to ensure that you don't do is make mistakes on this one. But, you know, obviously the sprint key is going to be your best friend here, so you do have to be conscious of your stamina throughout this entire bike race. I mean, you have to be conscious of it no matter what throughout this entire run, but especially for the bike races, this bike race in particular, the amount of stamina that you have really plays a role. So I think it's good that he's at least playing it safe. Someone like myself would go for the BTBs, of course, which ends up saving time, as we know. But it's really just not something that is worth going for in a race setting like that. And that's the thing. If you hold back page down too much, then you're more likely to fall off the bike than you are to stay on it. So bit risky in terms of his movement there, but Erratix luckily is in a bike race, so you know, falling off your bike in a bike race is really not that bad compared to falling off of it in a in the open world aspect of the game. But it looks like Erratix is going to be about halfway done with the second lap as Noel is entering. Still think it's about a little under 2 minutes for Noel's, for Erratix's lead, I should say. So we'll see how this goes. I did teach Noel how to do cow tipping a little bit better. So we'll see if she's able to adopt anything that I taught her, or the things I taught her there, when she eventually gets to cow tipping. And then we'll see how Erratix plays it out, because I do know that he has a fairly good bit of knowledge in terms of how to do that mission. But Noel didn't seem to do any BTBs, kind of just doing the mission casually, which is completely fine. This, like I said, one of those missions where the biggest concern is really just your stamina. So long as she's able to keep her stamina like fairly consistent throughout, I think that's really what's gonna help her out in the long run. Man, this soundtrack is so good, isn't it? So many iconic soundtracks. Our songs, I guess, is what I was trying to say. So Erratix does have it in the splits to grab the pink bike here, which does end up losing, I think, around like 20 seconds compared to getting it later. Probably closer to 10. If you are going to get it later. Not buying the bike at all, I think, saves 20 overall, but we'll see if he actually does end up buying the bike here. If he does, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I know Noel is going to, because that is something that both me and Erratix taught our beginner runners, is to buy the bike as soon as you're able to. That way it's just easier to go around the place. So I find it interesting that Erratix does buy it here, considering how good he is at stamina management. But I guess, you know, it's more of a comfortability thing for him than anything else. So, oh, I also realized that the left side of his screen has been cut off this entire time. Let me fix that. That's cool. No wonder it looked that way. This is high quality production here, as you guys can see. Okay. So, as Erratix enters cow tipping, we are going to see just how good his RNG is today. This is one of those missions where you can actually lose a lot of time just due to RNG alone, so we'll see what the difference is between both runners in terms of their RNG. But it shouldn't be too bad. Cow tipping is one of those missions where, although the RNG does matter, your ability to actually like hit the children with the tomatoes is also another huge factor. So we'll see how this goes. All right, he does use all of his mega tomatoes. He gets another mega tomato, so that's good. He does get a big kid spawn, which is a bit unfortunate just due to the fact that the big kid, if it's a single big kid, they actually end up delaying the spawns of every other kid in that like segment. So that does end up losing him probably around like 5 seconds, if I were to guess. But let's see. Alright, he does get the double spawn at the top, but I think he only hit the one kid. Yeah, okay. He does hit the big kid. Luckily, he did have a girl that spawned alongside that big kid, so it wasn't that bad. Alright, looks like he's about to hit hour 4, though, which is pretty good. Alright, just as Noel is getting close to the mission, too. Radix already losing time against his gold as well, which is not ideal at all. But it looks like the mission is about to end. Yes, it does. Cool. Alright, he still, although he did lose time to RNG there, he did actually end up, you know, he's still maintaining his lead against his PB, which is nice. But right as he leaves, Noel is, you know, just entering the mission. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, she did get the 3rd shot off. That's good. And we do have Joyride 2 coming up as well. Very straightforward mission, though. I know that Radix is not going to have a hard time completing it. She does forget where the 4th spawn is. Does not get the top left spawn, which is very unfortunate. Oh, but she does get 2 on the left, which is actually going to save time over Radix's cow tipping. Where is this? Is it a big kid at the top? Oh, no, it's a girl. Interesting, okay. I don't know why it took that girl so long to move, but she does end up getting a big kid as well, which is, yet again, very unfortunate. Oh, she shoots away her 2nd super tomato. Oh, no. That is not what you want to have happen. That delayed the spawn of every other kid, basically. Shooting that 2nd super tomato. Yeah. That is the thing about this mission, is that the mechanics are very specific in terms of how the kids spawn, in terms of how the tomato locks on to certain kids as well. She doesn't realize that she actually did not hit the kid at the top as well. Yeah, that is one of the things about this mission, is that you really do have to be conscious of how the spawns work and your tomato usage more than anything else. Alright, she knows to wait for the big kid, though, which is nice. I did teach her how to do the reload animation cancel. It looks like she did go for it. She just missed the timing of it, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, that is the thing, is that spamming like that might work a little bit, like some of the time, but, you know, if you do it a little bit too much, it can delay the spawns of the other kids. So you do have to be careful about using too many tomatoes. It is something you do have to be conscious of. But yeah, clearly Radix has a much easier time completing this mission than Noel does. This is a huge moment of the run that she does need to improve on. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, and she's not going to have any Mega Tomatoes for that big kid. I think that big kid might be the last one, or this is the 2nd to last wave for her. Yeah, a lot of time loss. You really do have to be careful about how you use your tomatoes in this mission. Yeah, this is going to be a big disadvantage for Noel now. Radix is just going to continue his lead, though, of course, because why wouldn't you in a race setting? Yeah, took her a while to exit that mission, as Radix is already on to Sharp Squirter 4. So, unless he soft locks somewhere along the line, it seems like he's running away with this for the time being. And that is the thing, is that, you know, anything is possible in a race setting. But, you know, Noel is working at a huge disadvantage at the moment. So that is very unfortunate. But Sharp Squirter Izzy Springs is going to be one of those missions that is very, very, very technical, and you do have to understand the routing a good bit to know what you're doing. So we'll see how our Redix is able to pull it off, as Noel is going to be entering into Jared 2 in just a moment here. He's obviously not going to go for the long squirts, which is something that, you know, I specialize in at this point in terms of widescreen patch. But it's not a very easy thing to pull off. Pretty clean squirts from Erratix here as well. He should be regaining a milk right about now. There we go. Doesn't need to pick up that milk carton, but he still does anyways. And that's where the knowledge of this game does come into play, is that he did not have to pick up that one at all. Or the one after the 4 cans. He didn't have to pick that one up pretty much, yeah, like I said, at all. So the fact that he did is a little interesting. It also shows that he, you know, he's just got a lack of practice at the moment. Which, when he does start his sub 3 grind, he's obviously going to have to be putting in a lot more work to ensure that he's saving time wherever he can. Noel, oh my goodness, having a really hard time at the start of the short ride too. I did not see that happen. Looks like she just took the corner maybe a little bit too fast. And that is the thing. These little time losses, like I said, add up over the span of an entire run. It's really hard to work your way back from a disadvantage when you are constantly making these small little errors that end up losing you a lot of time. But she has been playing really good, better than I thought pretty much either runner would play. I think both of them had 14-minute pools, which is much better than, you know, a lot of people have on an average. So Erratix is going to have a bit of an awkward milk situation here, but I think he's just going to go for that milk carton. Exactly right. All right, looks like he's going to be saving some time over his PB as well, which is really nice. Back to a minus 55 ahead of PB. So yeah, it seems like Noel is almost at a 3-minute time difference at this point, which is really, really, really unfortunate. But just goes to show that, like, the time loss she has in cow tipping, which, you know, cow tipping is one of those moments of the run where I think a lot of people really just don't keep in mind. I think a lot of people really don't think about just how much time they could be saving in each little segment. And especially when it comes to cow tipping, it's one of the more overlooked parts of the run in terms of time save. Although RNG does have a factor for those missions, it's also a matter of executing based off the RNG too. So I think that's one thing that not only Noel, but plenty of other runners just need to improve overall is their cow tippings. And just understanding those missions better, which just simply comes with time and experience. So we'll see how Noel does this sharp squirter. She misses, I think, every single can off that one squirt, which is very unfortunate. Luckily, she will have a milk carton to her right. She does know that. Very good. But Erratix is party on. He does not get party on, which will lose him a half second there. I did not see if he got I'm bacon or not, which would have been nice to know, but it's okay. Owazi bacon, as they say. All right, but we are reaching the halfway point of this run, so that is good. We are making progress here, folks. We will be checking in with the runners after both of their Golf 2s in just a little bit, just to see how each runner is doing, just to see what Noel's pace is as well, because currently I have no idea what her real pace is. But obviously with Erratix, he does have his splits on screen, which makes it very easy to know. Oh, bit of internet issues on Noel's end currently. All good though. Yeah, and this is where having the knowledge of the routing for Sharp Squirter can really come into play. But you also do need to have some good execution on top of that knowledge. So as easy as it may seem, she has no milk. Oh no, she forgot to pick it up. Although she has a good knowledge of the routing, she does need to execute just a little bit better if she wants to end up saving time over Radix. But she does have really good sharp squirting mechanics. So I say that as someone that has been surprised at how well she's able to play these missions out. As I still struggle with some of the things that she's able to hit pretty much first try every time. But we will be finishing out this sharp squirter for Noelle. She is going to have to pick up another milk carton, or she's just going to have to wait. There we go. All right. Everyone's favorite part of the run is coming up for Erratix, though. Golf 2. Or just golf, you know. But we will have golf coming up here in just a second here. Coming here in just a second here. I know how to speak. All right. Let's see how Erratix pulls this off. Hole 10 is obviously a lot of RNG. So although it is, although Golf 2 is a good bit of skill, it is, you know, some good bit of luck is on top of that. So it does get some pretty good bounces. And it goes right in off a nice little bounce. That's nice. He made a little stank face. He liked what he saw. Alrighty, getting hole 11 skipped very cleanly as well. I do think that Noelle is missing one apple, if my memory serves me right. So I think she's going to have to kick the apple tree. Okay, thank goodness. I was going to say, I hope it's not cherries, I hope it's not strawberries. I'm surprised I remembered that, because we reset at least 4 times at the start of this this race. So the fact that we reset so many times, it's hard to remember when you see early games so frequently like that. But it's good that she at least knew to just kick that apple tree right there. That way it's not a huge time loss. She did get party on. That is a good sign of things. Little bit of time save for her. Not that it's a huge time save, but we will take any half second we can get at this point, just to try to get ahead of Erratix, really, more than anything else. But Erratix already on hole 14, as Noelle is just talking to Daisy for B-Day cake, and she still has to talk to Ben, and then talk to Otis. So it's not looking very pretty at the moment. However, the last 3 holes of Golf 2, he almost got the hole-in-one. That's crazy. Are about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on your skill level. Clean recovery from Erratix, too. I know that's one thing that he mentions that he always has a hard time on. So it was great to see him get that. I don't know why Noelle doesn't jump between that pole there. Erratix getting the frickin' 2-for-1 on the ramp. Oh my goodness. He's gonna get it cleanly through the ramp as well. This is a really, really good back nine for Erratix at the moment. He has about 2.5 minutes that he needs to finish this hole by in order to gold here. So if he can do it in under 2 minutes, he's gonna be golding by 40 seconds. I hope that he's able to do that. I really do. But yeah, Noelle is just not able to save as much time as you'd hope she'd be able to, unfortunately. And, you know, that is to be expected with such a huge PB difference between both runners. Not that this was expected to be like a completely fair race, just due to the fact that Erratix has so much experience. But, you know, it would be nice to see Noelle just do some insane stuff, which, you know, I think the JCSS at the start was really what really showed everyone that she does have more ability than what meets the eye in terms of her PB. She's doing strats that people at a 315 level don't even do. And that's mainly because they don't run the game anymore. But most importantly, the fact that, you know, she's pulling out these tricky strats just to try to gain an advantage where she can. Radix having some trouble with the hole 17 skip, but it does eventually get it. Noelle having some trickiness with hole 10 here, just in terms of the angle. I don't want her to go for anything risky, so I do like that she's taking it a little bit safe here. But as Radix is finishing 17, she's just finishing 10, so there's about a 4 to 5 minute difference between both runners right now, and I think Radix has a really good shot at golding the split, hoping that hole 18 goes well. Hoping for no soft locks or anything like that. Okay, he could have actually gone for loop throw if he had a bit more power there. But no big deal. I don't want him to do anything risky that he's not comfortable with at this point, because we were trying to get this man some time save. Get this man a true. Alright. I'm sure that ramp gives him PTSD every single time he gets to it, but he does get the ball into that hole fairly cleanly. And about halfway through the run, it seems as though he's actually got a chance to gold this split. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I think he's got about... Yeah, I think he's got some time. So that's really, really good. I like how they intertwined the movie and the BFBB soundtrack. But Erratix does gold by about 8 seconds, which is insane. Insane time save for Golf 2. That... Wow. I mean, from my perspective, Golf 2 is arguably one of the hardest ones to do. I mean, I think Golf 2... I think any of the even Golfs you can really say are, like, the hardest ones. Golf 2 being the back 9... Golf 4 being the full 18, and then Golf 6 also being the back 9. But the big thing about Golf 2 is that it's the halfway point of the run. So it's either you save a lot of time and you have a good run going, or you lose a lot of time and the run is pretty much dead, but you still have a chance. So it's really important that you save time on Golf 2. The fact that he golded on top of that, whew. And then obviously with Golf 4... it being full 18, there's a lot of pressure on just being able to perform well. And then Golf 6, you know, end of the run. Is she about to get the hole in one? Oh my god, she almost did. That would have been insane. But yeah, I'm going to wait until Noelle is in Freddy's Dream, pretty much. I'm going to wait till she probably sleeps to get to Freddy's Dream before I decide to undeafen myself and ask how each runner is doing. Clearly, Erratix is doing pretty well. He does have a pretty good shot at getting a massive PB. So, we're going to hope that he's able to hold this lead for now. But, yeah, this is turning out to be quite the run so far. Let's see if Noelle is able to get the 2 for 1. Nope, unfortunate. It's actually going to go backwards. That's... Wow. Noelle is just having a bad go at things right now. That is very unfortunate. Yeah. And that is one of the things about the back 9 is that you really do have to be careful. You really have to be careful about how you play certain holes, otherwise things can go terribly wrong. And hole 15 is one of those holes that can turn into a disaster really quickly if you're not careful. So it's a bit unfortunate that Noelle is, you know, having a hard time with the back 9 in general. We're looking at about a 5 to almost 6 minute disadvantage at this moment in time. But that depends on how she plays this out. I think if she plays this out fairly cleanly from here on out, it could be a 15, or sorry, if not a 15, a 5-minute difference. Which at about the halfway point, I think that still gives Noelle a decent shot at PBing. But at the same time, I have no idea what her splits are looking like, so... Pretty good hole 16. Let's see if she's able to get the 17 skip quickly. I would hope so. I know Redix had some issues with it, so if she's able to get it first try, and she does, perfect. That is a bit of time save. Don't think it puts her back in the race, but it at least is going to save some time. And I do like the way that she does these loop throws. It seems a bit risky, but it does actually end up paying off for her every time she does it. Because she only has to do one throw, and it's already through. Even if she's in a really awkward spot. Alright. 18 is one of those holes. I did teach her how to do the 67 setup for the first ramp throw. So we'll see if she's able to pull it off cleanly. The main thing is just knowing when the ball is going to fall into the hole itself. That way it can start moving as soon as possible. Which she will be able to do. Doesn't look like she's going to get there in enough time. Like I said, that is one of the issues that you are going to have with this hole. Is not being there in enough time. Which obviously she had a bit of an issue there. But she does get it through the loop fairly fast. Erratic's already onto Mud Jump 2. I don't think he's going to go for the alt tab because of the rules they set in place beforehand. But she is going to get the ball through the last ramp thing. Or this is technically the last ramp here. Alright. So I think I'm going to hop into call once she heads to sleep, like I said. That way we just get a gauge of how each runner is doing. Unfortunate that Noelle is, you know, at a disadvantage at this moment in time, but we'll see how it goes. Alright. He is going to go for the alt tab. I guess he must have asked her. Oh, he did it on instinct, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, because I know that Erratix chose not to do it because it's what Noelle wanted, but it seems as though she must have said it's okay because clearly he's going for it. So I'm going to hop and call now. Alrighty, guys. How are we doing?
I'm having the craziest run of my life.
I can see that. Yeah, you've been golding like crazy. It's been pretty insane to see just like how much time you've been able to save, despite not playing this game for, like you said, 3 months. It's
Yeah, I swear to God, I haven't touched it that long. I'm not lying. But also the pool split.
Yeah,
that's the most insane I've ever seen. I golded despite failing.
Yup. Noelle, I don't have your splits. What kind of pace are you on at this moment?
I didn't have a split on my PB for golf too, but birthday cake was minus 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're actually still on a pretty good pace too. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's been interesting. Like, I think at the start when you did the brand new JCSS setup, Noelle, I kind of popped off a little bit because I didn't expect that, honestly. But I know that like I taught you how to do it like somewhat, but I didn't think like it was gonna be a trick in your back pocket, you know. So that was really cool to see. The stream was very happy for that, especially 67 who came up with the setup in the first place. But yeah, this has been a very good race. It's exciting to see. So good luck to you both. I just wanted to see how we're doing. But yeah, good luck again.
Thank you.
Alrighty. That is insane that Erratix has such a good lead despite not playing for such a long time. And you know, although I did hit him with the the accusation that he, you know, not a real accusation, of course, but the accusation that he was, you know, clearly not clearly, but he had been practicing up until this point. He clearly did not. So like I said, very honest guy. I know he wouldn't do such a thing. I know he wouldn't just like practice offline or something like that to gain an advantage in a race like this. This is, if I were to say anything about this race, it's simply just the fact that he has so much more experience running this game over the past couple years that like that's just his main advantage. His main advantage is just experience compared to Noelle. And like that's the thing is Noelle is still well ahead of her PB. So she's not even doing bad. Like she's still on a pretty good pace against her PBs. So we could see some nice PBs come out of this race, which I think is more important than anything else, is seeing improvement out of each runner. So I really hope that Noelle is still able to PB. Especially, I hope Erratix is able to PB, of course, too, because that would be insane if he just came back to the game for the first time with no practice and just instantly PBs. And, you know, that goes to show that, like, although it's a long run and although it feels like it's hard to save time on this game sometimes, there's still a lot of optimizations left for people that aren't, you know, below 3 hours. Sub 3 really is, like, a gold standard. And Erratix getting the Bike Race 3 skip first try, that's really good. Hopefully he doesn't... Okay, I was going to say, I hope he wasn't going to go too far to the left there because he could have gotten knocked off his bike. But that's really good. He's got 1 out of 3. Let's see if he's able to get the second one. And obviously the third one will come much later, but we'll see how this goes. But yeah, Bike Race 3, one of those bike races that really is just a matter of hitting that one trick. Obviously BTBs come into play here too. Erratix does end up going for some BTBs, but ultimately he's not saving that much time because he's not leaning far back on his bike pretty much at all. So that is a factor. You do have to make sure that you are actually leaning back on your bike a decent bit in order to hit it. So he is going to end up just bailing off the bike because he does not end up hitting it the second time, but he at least got it once, which is about a 10-second time save. So that's pretty huge, all things considered. I'm not really sure what his pace is for Bike Race 3. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't seem like he's going to be saving that much time when he does eventually complete this mission, but he might still be saving a little bit of time. Alright, Noelle, not someone who's comfortable with doing alt tabs on Mud Jump 2. I think the fact that she allowed him to actually hit the alt tabs is really nice. Does instantly knock down the pig, though, which is really good RNG, and back in the day, I would have lost my mind if I had something like that happen. But let's see what kind of pace Erratix has out of this Bike Race 3 in just a moment. Yeah, losing a little bit of time, but not a big deal. He did end up missing the split for Chicken Launch 3, and I think it's because I entered the call, so I ended up distracting him a little bit. So, my fault, Erratix. If you end up seeing this. I recognize my mistake. But yeah, Mud Jump 2 just being one of those missions where you kind of just have to hope things go well. If you're not going to... I mean, Mud Jump in general, if you're not going to go for the alt tab. That didn't go amazingly, but it went as well as it could go for someone that doesn't alt tab, so no big deal. Oh my gosh, I'm not even that tired. Alrighty. Erratix now moving on to the Sharp Squirter here. Still about like a 5-minute difference, which is honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Considering how quickly Eradix was able to exit out of pool, despite the fact that he even had to reset. I mean, that's just insane that he even like had to reset and still ended up goaling his split, excuse me. Which is just, it's insane that that happens. Like this has definitely been one of the more hype races we've had. Although the difference between both runners is still pretty wide. It is still pretty interesting to see just how like well each runner is able to perform. But yeah, Noelle notoriously not having an easy time with the chicken launch missions. It seems as though she's been able to, you know, ground herself when it has come to these missions lately. I think it was just a beginner level thing where it's just easy to mess up on a mission like that. Does not end up actually spamming F and enter after entering the 10 hole, which does end up saving a little tiny bit of time. So that is a little bit of time loss on her end. But Eradix will be moving on to the third golf here. Alright, just like Golf 1, Golf 3 isn't that exciting in terms of time save, but in terms of time loss, it is, you know, like any golf, it is one where you have a huge ability of actually losing time, so you really do have to be careful to not lose time on this mission more than anything else. But yeah, Noelle opting to play safe still does not do any BTBs, which is fine, but it is a time save that she is missing out on in that sense. Radix trying to keep his composure, taking a nice deep breath there. If there's one thing that I do myself whenever it comes to runs with this game, it is, you know, ensuring that I'm taking deep breaths and catching my breath and drinking water, keeping yourself... What the hell was that interaction at the start of that bike race? But yeah, making sure that you're keeping your composure is like the main thing that most runners really do have to be wary of. Noelle opting to just simply bail off the bike to get that respawn, which I think is a safe play, and one that I think most beginners should go for. Not most. Pretty much all beginners should go for, actually. Now that I think about it. Alright, Eradix is on to the most strenuous part of the golf. Excuse me. The last 3 holes of the front 9 are easily the hardest ones to do properly. At least in a quick manner. I do like that Eradix's strat there is to always just full power throw across the water instead of just going for the bridge. That might end up saving time, but at the same time, he could just try to go for throwing it into the hole across that like little bridge there too, and that could also end up saving him some time. But I think in terms of playing it safe, I think that is a good way of doing that. Nice little strat if you're not feeling up to, you know, going for the hole-in-one or the hole-in-two for that matter. The eagle, if you will. But Eradix has built himself quite a huge lead. There's not a lot Noelle can do here at this point that's not just hoping that Eradix makes some kind of mistake. Seems as though Eradix is going to be able to save at least a little bit of time here on this this golf. Might even be golding as far as I'm aware. Nah, not quite golding, but he is saving a little bit of time, which is huge. So he will be exiting out of Coyote season with a nice 1-minute lead that he kept pretty much throughout the entirety of Coyote season. I don't think I think, yeah, he got ahead out of BD Farm. Once he was ahead out of BD Farm with a minute ahead, like, he's just been on a roll since then. So Radix is doing really good for himself. Noelle's also probably doing well for herself. I just simply don't know what kind of pace she's on compared to PB since I don't have her splits up on screen. But as far as I'm aware, she's still on a pretty good lead. So, and she definitely has potential to save even more time throughout the rest of this run. Oh, kicking the flower pot. But wow, nice little... Oh, even golded that split too. Golded the end chapter split, because why not? Why am I not racing too? Because I simply have much better times than both of these people, and it wouldn't be very fair. I also like to be the commentator since I have the most amount of knowledge for this game, so I like commentating for this game as if it's you know, a professional esport. Alrighty. Milk Bar, very, very simple mission. Not gonna be that hard to complete for Erratics here. But yeah, I'd love to race someone someday. I want it to be like a closer race than it is, you know? I just feel like I have an ability to save a lot of time where people don't. So it would be nice to race someone someday in this game and have it be like fairly even. But until that day comes, I'm just going to be the commentary guy. Alrighty, Erratics completing Milk Bar very quickly. Like I said, very, very, very simple mission. So very hard to mess that one up unless you don't know what you're doing. Oh, he almost golded by a lot of time. Can't see how good Erratics' pace is. Alright, let me just scuffed. Who cares, man? This isn't like official or anything. He is a minute 10 though right now. Oh shit, I forgot the... Fuck, I can't make the gameplay bigger. Sorry, Glow. I know that you can't really see it, but I can give updates on the pace, which I've been doing this whole time. Next race. The race between you and 67, surely that'll happen. That's when we'll focus on it a little bit more. I think he... Oh no, he just needs one more flower. Erratics having a bit of a hard time with the bluebells. It's a little hard to see because I'm... Oh, okay, gotcha. No, I figured that was the case, and I'll adjust it for next time, so no worries. Alright, Noelle is already on bike race, jeez. Golf 3. But yeah, Erratics currently at a 306, excuse me, 306 best possible time with a minute 10 lead. Still plenty of time to save on top of that too, so it's only a matter of time to see just how well he's able to finish this out. Hole 4, always a bit of a problem hole. PB today. I think, so long, knock on wood, as things go well for the rest of this run, I think he has a good shot of PBing. And Noelle is also on a PB pace herself, so although the race isn't completely fair in terms of skill level, at the very least, we could be seeing 2 PBs today, which would be really, really, really cool. But yeah, this chapter 5 is not very exciting, where you're just doing the missions for Ben's death. It's Although these missions are like a little, you know, they're a little hard, but I don't know. These missions can be a little difficult in terms of saving time, but like you're obviously you're more able to lose time than you are to save time on these missions unless you don't have that great of a time. Which, if I were to assume, Eradix is only really going to have difficulty on the reverse log jump since he does not do the wheelie mechanic, so. Currently no upsets, Blubs. Eradix is well in the lead. He's on PB pace, despite not playing the game for months. And then Noelle is also on PB pace, but about, let's see, I think about 5 to 6 minutes behind. So, although she's not, like, on a great pace compared to Eradix, she's at least on a good pace compared to PB. So we could see double PBs today. That would be really cool. She does get a nice whole 8 there too. That was really clean. Oh yeah, like I said, reverse log jump is one of those tricks that Eradix does not have the optimal strategy for. He doesn't realize that wheeling before you jump is actually the optimal strat there. So that's a bit unfortunate. What the? What was that golf interaction? What? The grass doesn't have a gopher in it, I guess. That was interesting. I guess that specific part of the grass just doesn't have a gopher. I don't even know what just happened. Oh, man. Dude, freaking OST bullshit, man. Let's do Talking 1. Extended. For 30 minutes. Could do Ben's death. Think, yeah, I already did bike race. I'm running out of themes here. Can't even focus on the run, man. Or the race. I gotta focus on the frickin' song choice. Alright, screw it. Alright, Eradix will be losing a little bit of time. I think he's still going to be a minute ahead here, though. Yep, still a minute ahead. He did end up losing around 9 seconds there, unfortunately. Which is a bit unfortunate, but Noelle will finally be finishing, what's it called? Coyote season here. I think she ended up losing a lot of time to that golf, to be honest. I could not tell you. These freaking monkey sounds, dude. The soundtrack is a banger, though. Alrighty. Golf 4. This is going to be pretty much the... not the deciding factor, but it's going to be a huge part of Radix's gameplay for the rest of this run. If he's able to save a lot of time here, that would be pretty huge. But obviously no guarantee given that Golf 4 is the full 18 experience here, so we'll see how this goes. Noelle did, I think, end up losing a good bit of time there, though. Golf is one of those missions that you really do have to be good at, otherwise you're just losing time. You could say that for every mission, but especially when it comes to the golfs, it's really easy to lose time on them, so do have to be careful there. Alright, Milk Bar is one of the simple missions, though, so let's see how Noelle is able to actually finish this one. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Once again, very, very hard to mess that one up if you simply just don't know what you're doing. Or if you do know what you're doing, it's hard to mess it up. It's easy to mess up if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, let's see how Eradix does this, though, because although I would like to watch Noelle's gameplay, there's not really a whole lot of fun stuff happening during this next chapter, since it's simply just picking up flowers and rounding up the chicks to go cheer up Otis. Alright. Definitely a bit of an overthrow on Eradix's part there, but that's not a big deal. Not a huge down for the race 67 anytime soon. If he is, there we go. The ball is in your court, 67. Alright, one of the things I did note about Noelle's gameplay is her bike placement is a little bit sloppy. Just, at least in terms of the beginner race it was. So it seems as though she's definitely improved it a good bit. Still not the greatest, but it's gotten better for sure. Because, yeah, she's having to run across just to get to the bike again, that's losing you 3 seconds there alone. Probably 6 seconds if you just add it all together. But yeah, I'll message 67 about the race, and we can figure out an official time this time. Because you guys are at an even level, so it'd be a very interesting race. Alright, Eradix finishing out the front 9 here pretty soon. Hopefully he's able to get a nice hole 8 here. Hole 8 is one of those tricky ones where an overthrow can end up losing you 10 seconds, if not more. I kind of like that he plays that a little safe by throwing it into the grass. That is a little nice optimization. Yeah, plays it safe. That's good. No need to do anything fancy here. I probably would have played it the same way. It would, I think it would be too. I think the only factor would be pool and metal detector. But aside from that, I think you guys would be on a pretty even level. So it'd be interesting to see. Alright, Eradix finished with the front 9 officially now. We had an early game though. Oh yeah. Well, I'll hit him up about that then. I'm sure he's down. And I know you guys were down that one time and then things fell through, but we could possibly do it this this coming like Monday or something like that. Alrighty. Hole 11 skip, one of those easy ones, as I mentioned before. It's really hard to mess this one up. Yep, first try. He had to reset up the ball, but that was pretty much all that he had to worry about. Alright, Noelle is coming up on the reverse log jump here, though. Yeah, that not doing the wheelie, which is going to cost her some time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Eradix almost soft locked on that pipe. That could have been really bad. Oof. Fridays are... Oh man, that's going to be a bit hard, but maybe next Friday. Oh wait, no, I can't do next Friday, never mind. Maybe I can, I don't know. I'll have to let you know, Glow. I do have my band's next show on Friday, so we'll see. But yeah, looks like Noelle is actually going to be at a 7-minute disadvantage now, which is not great. But at the same time, you do have to keep in mind that Eradix is on such a good pace that my knowledge of what time Noelle is currently at compared to her PB is completely unknown, so... Although she is behind in the race by a good bit, I think she's still on a pretty decent pace in terms of PBing. But like I said, I have almost no knowledge of that, so... Just have to wait and see. Oh, Eradix getting some bad bounces on 14, that's not good. Now you're on the day. Okay, gotcha. We can figure it out. Just let me know your availability for this next week. Alright, yeah. Just about a 7-minute disadvantage. 7.5 almost. But it seems as though Noelle is going to be able to at least, you know, hopefully make up some time on her end. Yeah, Redix, it might be losing some time on this Golf 4, but he's still at a pretty good lead. So long as this 15 goes cleanly, he still has a chance. Oh, let the ball go. Yes, dude. Yes, Radix. The 2-for-1, man. Come on. That is what I'm talking about. That is something that I struggle with, and he's gotten it twice in the 2 times he's entered this hole. That is huge. That saves probably around 5 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds, depending on how well you're able to optimally do that. But yeah, Radix, he definitely lost some time from that 14. I wasn't really paying attention to his front 9, but I'm sure he lost time there as well. Oh my gosh. Noelle with the crazy movement. But now we just have to wait and see how she does on this full 18. Full 18 just being one of those hard holes, hard missions that is just it's really difficult to do this one well. The pressure's on at this point. It's basically the make or break point of late game. You know, although Golf 6 does exist, you don't have to deal with the front 9 right before doing the back 9. So Golf 4 is definitely one of those harder ones to save time on if you're not fully locked in at this point in the run. Let's see how Radix does 17 skip. Okay, gets it second try. That's good. Does he get the loop throw? He does get the loop throw. That helps him. Okay, he's actually on a... that helped him a good bit. The loop throw on top of getting, like, second try skip is actually really good for him. So, that's pretty good. He's been able to save himself some time just based off that 17 alone. Does Noelle get the hole-in-one? She gets the hole-in-one on hole 3. That's good. Alrighty, let's see if Radix is able to get the loop throw. I don't think he knows the setup. He does, actually. Never mind. Oh, but he gets it wrong. I don't think he knows to go up or to do A and W at the same time. I think he just knows that you gotta aim at a specific point and then go from there. And this second ramp will forever be an issue for him, whether it be a soft lock or the ball just simply not going in. Oh my gosh. The game does not want him to PB. It's all good though. He's still got a good bit of game left, so he can still save time here and there. I don't know what his big time save is from here on out, but it seems as though he has about 3 minutes, almost 2.5 minutes worth of time save. So, although it's not ideal, he should still be around minus 27-ish, would be my assumption. Yeah, minus 27 out of Golf 4 after being a minute ahead, so he did end up losing 30 seconds, unfortunately. But hopefully he's able to just play clean from here on out and not have to think about it too much. We'll see how it goes. But as he finishes Golf 4, Noelle is still just stuck in the middle of it. Oh. If there's one thing I appreciate about Eradix's gameplay, it's his reaction to weird things happening. He definitely loves to, you know, have some big reactions to weird things happening, and it's always a great time to see his face change based off of what's happening within these races, even if we don't have the audio of what he's saying. Alrighty. Noelle not having the most difficult time with this front 9, thankfully. like I said, one of those ones that's kind of hard to screw up on. She does end up getting the tiny, like, cutscene skip, which is really just, you know, the delay of a cutscene more than anything else. I forget that she does go for that throw off the lawnmower, which is actually kind of impressive. I should probably start trying to figure that out myself. Okay. Very slow and gradual. Oh my god, never mind. Not very slow and gradual. It just went straight to the hole. It's a pretty good hole 10 to start off. Hole 10 being one of those ones that you really just have to be careful on, of course. And I do forget that Eretix does instantly go for Joyride 3 instead of items for Joey. I forget that he does switch those missions around, which is fine. I mean, I don't think it saves or loses any time. It's all a matter of your preference. Oh my god, Irax bouncing off the sign, that's a little dangerous. The drink milk sign, of course. Oh my god, does she get it in the hole? Oh my god, Noelle getting the hole 12 straight through the pipe. That's crazy. That pipe throw is hard to get. It's hard to get the ball straight into the hole through that pipe. So the fact that she got that is a nice little, like, 4-second time save. That's really cool. Alrighty, Eretic's taking that corner a little too tight there. I don't really like the way he took that. But Noelle not having too hard of a time on 13. I know that was one of the problem holes that she had, so happy for her that she's able to actually get through it cleanly. But let's see. Is Eretix, he's not, I don't think he's going to gold this. Yeah, he's not going to gold it, but he's not losing too much time, thankfully. Alright, Noelle on 14. I don't think that... Yeah, that's not going to be a hole-in-one at all. But at least she got it through the 2 ramps. That's good. Let's see how her recovery goes. Thankfully, she plays it safe. That way, it's just a nice, simple, easy throw up the middle. So, Eradix, I was going to say, I feel like I do remember him having a lot of time save on items for Joey. So long as he plays this safe, he could just end up saving a lot of time. I honestly hope he doesn't go for anything risky here, just for his sake. Noelle, oh my god, getting the 2-for-1 as well. What the hell is going on today? She's able to get that, but she's not able to get the simple throw. It's insane, the skill I'm seeing from these players. Oh. Too much power on that throw. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm baffled by the amount of, like, the skillful things I'm seeing today. It's actually insane just, like, how well some of these, like, tricks have been working off for these players. It's mind-boggling, really. I doubt he goes for the super jump, but he might just because, yeah. Nothing wrong in going for it. He definitely was going to be a little too tight going for it. Oh my god, he gets a second try, though. Ah. No biggie. Alright, Eretix is opting to play safely on this mission, which I do appreciate. I think that these missions are definitely the easiest ones to mess up on. So, or items for Joey is the easiest one to mess up on for sure. And I say that about every mission. But it is one of those missions that, like, you know, one small mistake can lead to a big time loss if you're not playing it properly. So he is going to be saving time yet again. He's going to be saving about a minute. Or he's going to be a minute ahead yet again. Saving a minute would be insane on items for Joey, just saying. But I think he might even have a chance of golding this, too. Yep, Noelle able to do hole 17 skip fairly cleanly. That's good. She's still working at a pretty big disadvantage compared to where Radix is, but hopefully against PB she's still doing good. Some risky bounces out of that loop there. That's scary. Alright, yep. Radix gonna be minus 51 now out of items for Joey, which is a good time save to have. Thankfully, he did not play that risky pretty much at all outside of a couple things, but you know, the risk was very small compared to the reward. So thankfully, he was able to actually pull ahead there a little bit more. Moving on to Bike Race 4, though, this is one of the more scary missions. So I hope that he's able to pull this off fairly cleanly with no issues. Noelle does the loop throw, but it bounces back. Oh my god, it almost bounced through the loop again. Holy crap. That is one of the things you really do have to be careful about, is that loop throw for 18. It can just not go your way, and yet again, this ramp just being a problem for both runners. Neither one of them having an easy time with it. Kind of a risky turnaround there for Radix on that bike, but it does pay off for him. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, Noelle. That is not even your fault. That is just the game. There you go. Does make it out of Golf 4. Finally. It is one of those missions that is really hard to, you know, save time on, like I mentioned. She's going to be about 8 minutes behind Radix, but considering the pace he's on, that's not too bad. Okay. Like I said, Bike Race 4 is one of those missions where you really do have to be careful to not make any mistakes pretty much at all. But we'll see. Radix gave her like a 5-second head start at the very start in terms of flour sacks, but that's about it. It's been pretty even since then. Radix has just been able to pull ahead of Noelle pretty easily here. Alright, I doubt Radix goes for it on the second lap. Yeah, there's no... At that point, if you mess it up the first time, there's no point in going for it the second time. But yeah, this just goes to show that practice is important. But yeah, it's... in terms of Bike Race 4, you really just have to be careful on your execution at the very start there. As we saw, he lost probably around like 10 to 15 seconds just off of trying to jump over the barrels alone, which is just not what you want to have happen. So it looks like Noelle is going to opt to do Joyride 3 first, which, like I said, doesn't really matter what order you do the missions in. It's more of a preference-based thing, as you will have to do both missions at some point. But clearly Noelle prefers to do Joyride 3 first, just like Radix. Alright, Radix doing one thing that I don't think I've seen any other runner... Oh, but the bike placement isn't great. But I don't think I've ever seen any other runner put their bike on top of the grass like I do. That is one thing that has consistently been like a non-factor for most runners. They usually have their bike along the path. But however, he has it just a little... Oh! He's looking for my reaction too, because that is something I've never seen before. Okay, so that's a new strat. So if you happen to place your bike too close to a water leak, you can actually just jump to kick the hole like you would do an animation skip. I didn't know that up until right now. That is a brand new backup that you can do in case you park your bike too close. Possibly not even just a backup, but possibly even a new strat. That is... wow. Okay. I learned something new with the game today. Like I do almost every time I watch anyone play this game, I learn something new today. Wow. And that's what's so awesome about this game, is that although I've optimized it like crazy, it's still there's still plenty of stuff left to optimize, and you know, new strats to find each and every time someone runs this game. And not even just run it, but play it. Alrighty. Yeah, Noel still sitting at about around 8 minutes deficit currently, which is not ideal, but you know, there's only so much you can do about it. That it goes to show just how much little optimizations matter over the entirety of a run like this. But I definitely think her big time losses have been cow tipping and golf. That have been the big two that have really just costed her a lot of time. But I simply didn't think she was going to be in this position at all. I personally thought that, like, Erratix was going to be not playing his best Barnyard, but this goes to show that sometimes you just don't know what you're capable of until you do it, you know? I think that's what's so impressive, is I think the fact that he's had so much time away from the game has really only helped him more than anything else. I think time away from a game can really just end up benefiting you more than anything else can. And I've learned that as someone learning a brand new speedrun. You can actually just simply take some time away after learning something for a while, and you can actually just be better because of it. It's pretty insane how that works. So the fact that, like, it's possible, it's insane to me, man. I don't know. That's what I love about speedrunning, though, is that anything is anything is possible, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to get at exactly, but I think speedrunning just really brings out the best in people, and this race has obviously brought out the best in some people too. So I'm really happy with this this community so far, and really this race. I think it's really impressive that both runners have been able to hold their own, really, despite just how far back Noel is compared to Erratix. But with that being said, I didn't even see that he golded. Are you kidding me? He golded. I'm not even paying attention to the race, and he golded. He golded by 5 seconds. How does that even happen? Did he gold too early? Or, like, split too early or something? Because LRT is not our current timing method, Grizz. So it doesn't matter if there's LRT or not. Wow. Erratix just is impressing me, like, more and more as this run goes along. I don't like that Noel jumps all the way up to talk to Joey, because you can just talk to him from below, but no big deal there. But we are coming close to the very, very end of this run, guys. So I hope we have been enjoying this race so far. I know it's been a tiny bit scuffed, just like all my races are, but I think for the most part, this one has been the most entertaining. Just simply due to the fact that, like, both runners are on PB pace. I think when we did Erratix versus 67, it was exciting, except for the fact that 67 lost his lead, not lead, but lost the ability to gain a lead over time, and obviously didn't finish his run. But with this race, we have two runners on PB pace at the moment, and I think that's what's really, really, really keeping this run together, this race together, is the fact that we can see a possible double PB. And that's just, it's insane to me. It's insane to me that someone who has taken so much time away to focus on himself as well as other personal goals in his life has been able to come back to the game and do something like this. He does have about 7 seconds worth of time save on this joyride. He's about, I think his gold is about... No, his gold is actually at a pretty decent time. Never mind. I think about, like, 2 to 3 seconds behind my gold. So I think Heretics does have an opportunity to actually gold the split, but by very little. Most importantly, I hope he's able to save time. But Noelle is going to be doing the bike race for Skip. I wasn't able to see how cleanly she was able to do it, but it looks like she was able to at least get it on the first lap fairly cleanly. I think she did end up doing the barrel strat cleaner than Erratics, which is nice. Unless she just did it normally and then turned around when she knows she can. And one thing that I think she does have a bit of an advantage over Erratics with is turning around a lot sooner than he does when it comes to this bike race. So really cool to see that. Yeah, that is one of the things, though. That is one of the things that I did tell her to be careful about when I did coach her, is to jump if you see one of the Jersey cows coming, because the chances that she's going to fall off. Oh, no. She's going to try to finish it normally. I don't know if she's going to be able to win at this point. Oh, she should have stuck with the strat. That's going to be about a minute and a half time loss for Noelle. That's not good. This really does, this is going to make it a little bit harder to PB now. That's about a minute and a half she's losing just to that alone. She's forgetting that she needs to wheelie off. She keeps jumping off the top here, which is, you're more likely to fall off if you jump than anything else. Like, I feel so bad. I wish I could help her in this instance, but I simply can't. Always unfortunate to see someone that has the ability to save time, but you know, unfortunately just lets the little time saves get to them, and then it builds into more time loss. You don't need to restart there. You don't need to restart there, Noelle. Oh no. I think she's just gonna do the race casually now. I think she's just full resetting. She could have just stuck with it. Oh, Noelle. She was doing it right. I think she gave up a little too soon there. She could have done it. Well, this is definitely gonna hurt her chances of PBing at this rate. I really hope she's able to pull it back, but a time loss like that is not good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, tilt is one of those factors that you really have to, you know, try to keep yourself level on in terms of a race setting. It really does play a factor if you start playing bad. It's just snowballing more and more now. I can't imagine where she's at, like, mentally at this point, because this is just, like I said, one of those missions that's really tough to get through if you mess up on one little instance. And it's happened to me, you know. I say this as a seasoned speedrunner. It really is hard to, like, get yourself not, or to untilt yourself. It really is one of those things that's just hard to do. Heretics is going to be on Veggie Defense 3, which is one of those missions, which is a mission that you can very easily mess up on if you're not paying attention. And you can end up losing a lot of time due to that. So Heretics clearly focused on staying alive more than anything else right now. But Noelle is eventually going to finish Bike Race 4, but I can't imagine she's ahead at this point. I think she lost at least 3 minutes on that split alone. Not that she's not able to PB still, just her chances are a lot slimmer than they were before. And that's just really unfortunate. Yeah. Tilt, like you said, Debbie, is just one of those things that you really just have to keep yourself in check for. You simply cannot let the tilt get to you, otherwise you're simply going to just fall apart. You're going to fall apart at the seams. Oh my goodness! And then she talks to Miles again. This is where it starts to build. This is where the tilt starts to build, and you just can't find yourself, you know, untilting yourself. I hope she's still willing to finish the run at the very least. I still think, you know, she has a shot at PBing, but clearly it's starting to mound. Like it really is starting to mound on top of her at this point. Yeah, we're looking at a massive time loss deficit here. Like I think it's at least 10 minutes at this point. The difference between Erratix and her. Which, if Erratix is able to, you know, PB here, then that's actually not that bad. But it might even be closer to 11 minutes at this point. So, I hope that she's able to keep herself together. Just for the sake of, hopefully PBing. But we'll see how it goes. Erratix, just grabbing some water. Okay, I was gonna say, I think he still has one round of hostile raccoons, but looks as though he's fine. He should turn the camera around to make sure that it doesn't spin here, but I don't think it really matters. Alrighty, she is finally moving on to Chicken Launch 4, though, at the very least, which, if I were to assume... Yeah, about 11-minute difference right now, so it could be a lot worse for her, but that's still a brutal time loss on Bike Race 4. That is not a time loss you want at all. That's very rough. What's up, Dr. Saw? But Erratix, he did get past Veggie Defense 3, which is just, like I said, one of those missions where you can lose a lot of time if you do it incorrectly, so luckily Erratix was able to not die there, which is really important. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Noelle. Just play it safe. Just go above. Okay, yeah, there you go. Or don't go for that ring at all. I like that move too. Okay. No mess ups. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for her. She doesn't have to worry about that. But yeah, about 11-minute difference between the two, which, like I said, if she's able to not lose much more time, I think she still has a good chance of PBing, especially if Erratix PBs too. But let's see. Yeah, Bike Race 5, one of the ones that incorporates all the tricks that you utilize within the run. So let's see how Erratix is able to do it. Think he hit the checkpoint there. Yeah, he did. Thank goodness. Yeah, Erratix has been talking about the fact that he wants to do a sub 3-hour grind at some point in the near future, so I think this is a good way to kickstart that grind, hopefully fairly soon. I know he still has some other goals that he wants to take care of before he moves on, but yeah. Erratix was able to get the first trick fairly clean. Let's see if he's able to get through the old mill cleanly. Yeah. I don't really like jumping off that ramp for that reason exactly. I think it's just one of those things that you really shouldn't chance. I think it's just better to ride off that ramp and then jump once you hit the ground more than anything else. But Erratix is going to be coming up on the second trick of this bike race, as Noelle is already on to chasing chicks too, which hopefully she just knows when to leave at the right time. I believe I know Erratix definitely told her the right time to leave. He's getting these super jumps really well. That is a really clean super jump. My goodness. Wow, Erratix has just impressed me like each and every like split today. I've been more impressed with him than I've ever been before, for sure. I think he's been able to pull off some tricks that I don't even think he thought he was able to pull off as cleanly as he has. So long as he gets the super jump here, okay, that's pretty good. You don't have to get the super jump every time, so long as you just get up that hill without having to worry about it too much, then you're fine. Alrighty. Also, what's up, Phantom? We're not super like we're not taking this commentary too seriously. But yeah, currently there's about like an 11-minute difference between both runners, which is a bit unfortunate. But obviously, as you can see by the PBs, the weight class is pretty different, pretty marginal. But it's just like riding a bike. But yeah, Erratix has been playing a lot cleaner than I anticipated he would for not playing for about 3 months. Question is he gonna go for this this jump here? I doubt he goes for the Bike Race 3's jump, but you know, when in Rome, he is gonna go for it. He does not get the backup. All right, I think he's just gonna play it safe. Yeah, good. I did not want him to do anything else there. He honestly should not have gone for that trick in the first place, but I respect the attempt because if you're gonna go for sub 3, that is a trick that you do have to be hitting. As it does save at least 10 seconds each time you hit it. So an accumulation of about 30 to 35 seconds over the entire span of a run is really key. So in terms of when he's ready to actually grind for sub 3, that's at least a good thing that he's going for there. But he is going to be moving on to Golf 5 now. Like I said before, not one of those missions that you really have to be too concerned with in terms of time save. More about time loss than anything else. But we'll see how he's able to perform here. If he's able to hit some clean throws, then he could be saving some time. But obviously, he did end up actually losing some time to missing that Bike Race 3 jump. Oh, he's schmoovin'. He's about a 307 best possible, so that puts him just out of reach for second and third place, I believe, but he could still be getting a pretty massive PB here, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully Noel is able to get some nice clean driving on this Joyride 4. Joyride 4 being one of those ones that is just, you know, really about taking clean lines. Obviously no skips involved. Joyride 2 and 3 of course have the skips. Not that anyone would go for Joyride 3 skip in a race setting, but you never know. But yeah, just like the rest of the Joyrides, just making sure you make some nice clean lines is really all that you are concerned with here. I think he's going to be losing probably around 10 to 15 seconds. Oh, Noelle is so used to Joyride 3 that she forgets that you don't take that turn there. Joyride 3, of course, being the last Joyride she did, I think she... it's either she misinputted there or she misremembered how this Joyride goes. I do wonder if she's going to go for this corner cut here, which she does end up doing. Tips over because of it, though, because she had a little bit too much speed around that corner, which is a bit unfortunate. But Erratix is already onto the final 3 holes that are really just the most scary holes within the front 9. Oh my god, Noelle having a really hard time with these Jersey cows. I'm getting a little scared for her. Okay, they do have a scripted crash moment there, though. That's good. Thing is, I'm always so far ahead of the Jersey cows, I don't actually know like what they look like when they're behind me. So long as she takes this last little bit a little safe, she should be fine. Okay. She's going to get out of Joyride 4 just fine, but that's a little scary. Alright, Erratix is going to play hole 8 a little safe, which I do like. Hole 8 being one of those holes that you can really mess up on, so the fact that you take it that safely is good. Like I said, though, he is going to be losing time because of that Bike Race 3 skip attempt, but no big deal. Yeah. So I think his golfing did end up saving him some time, but overall he's going to be losing time just due to missing that skip, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of wish that he didn't go for the bike race skip just because of the fact that he has such a good lead that he shouldn't play it that risky, but I respect his attempt because, you know, like I said, when he does go for that sub 3 grind, he's going to have to hit that trick consistently. But hoping to see some nice, good RNG here for Teasmus Beatty. And yet again, he has a very interesting jump trying to get over the hump there, and he obviously has a very funny reaction to that happening. Yet again, quit looking at my reaction, man. Focus! Focus. Focus, Erratics. If you see this, focus. I hope he sees it. I hope he sees me saying that to him. Nope, he's not looking at all. He's just thinking about Teasmus Beatty. That is one of the funny things about having Erratix's face cam is that I can see when he's watching my stream, so hopefully that's a way to communicate with him. However, with this next joyride, it's going to be quite the slog. Do have to worry about Noelle also making sure that she finishes this mission without dying at all, but we'll see how it goes. She does have the aggro raccoons. A little scary movement there. I never like running straight at the raccoons for even more than a second. It's always a bit scary to do that. But I think she only has about one wave left of these aggroed raccoons, so she should be fine. Alright, he does get 50. Let's see if he's able to get another 50. That would be nice. Does get grade A beef, so it's going to take him a couple more animations to get out of Teasmus Beatty. I like that he goes for the shorter animation, though, at least. Yeah, he's not going to be saving time here. He's going to be losing a little bit, but he's still on a good pace. And Noelle's able to get out pretty fast. Alright. I hope he watches my stream, because I'm going to make a joke about falling asleep during this part of the run. As a little bit. Alright, I'll wait till he answers the mission. So the one tip I gave him when I coached him a long time ago is to not fall asleep during this mission, so... Let me just... Me. Honk shoe. Okay, he's full focused. He's not paying attention to the stream. But with that in mind, how many missions does he have left? He has 5 missions after this joyride, so we are close to ending Erratix's side of things, and not too far with Noelle as well. It's just finishing this bike race, Golf 5, and then she's got 7 after that. So about 8 missions left for Noelle as well. Yeah, Erratix is not breaking any focus. He is making sure that he actually hits this shit. Not hits it. Not shit. Yeah. He makes sure to finish this mission cleanly. Hits this shit. There's no skip in this mission. At least not yet. So we can't hit anything until that happens. Oh my goodness. Alright, I did not watch Noelle actually hitting Bike Race 5 the first skip, but let's see how she does for the rest of this. I did teach her how to do it. I think Erratix did as well, so we'll see how this goes. I did teach her how to do it very briefly, but she didn't seem very receptive to actually wanting to add the Ben Hill jump at the very least. So let's see if she is able to hit the first jump, most importantly. Misses it first try. Her angle is a little tiny bit off. Okay, that should work. And then I think she knows to bike until she just hits first place and then turn around. And she does. Good. And yet again, I'm just not paying attention. But I think she does do these. It's either she did the slow way around or she went until she hit the Ben Hill jump is my assumption. Alrighty, but Eretix finally done with the boring part of Joyride 5. So now I get to watch the game again. Honestly, that mission is just so boring, I just don't really care when that mission comes up, just like most people. So now I'll log back into commentary. Alrighty. Doubt that Noelle is going to go for the jump at all, because why would she in the first place? She didn't go for it during Bike Race 3 at all, and that's really the time that you should be going for it. So I think she's just going to play it a little safe. Oh, misses that first jump, but she should be able to get on the second jump. I don't really like that she's wheeling there, because it does kill a lot of speed. There's really no need to do it, to do a wheelie at that point. But yeah, Radix doing the 67 strat, just to play it a little safe. Shouldn't be saving or losing any really much time at all. Joyride 5 just being one of those boring missions where you can really only save time towards the end, if anything at all. But he's not going to be saving pretty much any time, so I think he's going to be losing just a tiny little bit. However, we do have Golf 6 coming up for Radix. Golf 5 as well for Noelle. Although it is the front 9, it is still one of those missions where she can possibly save some time. So we'll see how this pans out for her. Radix chilling with the 713 gold. I think I have a 640. So he has about 30 seconds he could possibly be saving on this golf. But he also has 37 seconds worth of time save against his gold and against his PB. So we'll see if he's able to save those 30. Hopefully he's able to save at least 30 seconds. That would be great. But he has even more time that he could be saving depending on how he plays this golf. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to hope for the best for Radix here. Hoping the best for both runners, of course. But, of course, with the front 9, there's only so much that Noelle can really improve, so we're going to hope that Radix is able to pull himself together, doing some stretching, deep breaths, just to make sure that he's nice and relaxed and focused on this next little bit of the run. But he only has 5 missions left, and we'll see how he does from there. Alrighty. I still do think that Noelle is on a pretty good pace. I think if I were to assume a lot of her time loss comes from the tomato launch missions, I think that's really what it is. As I saw from cow tipping 1, it seemed as though she had a fairly hard time getting through that one. But she's getting a couple hole-in-ones. That's really good. She will be on hole 7. I was not paying attention to Eradix's hole 10, but, you know, your hole 10 does not decide the rest of your golf, so we'll focus on him once we get past hole 12, most likely. I just want to see how Noelle is able to finish out here, because she's playing good golf. Oh my goodness, really clean hole 7 as well. See how this hole 8 goes. Alright, playing it a little safe. That's good. Erratic's making his way through hole 12 right now. Opting not to throw it straight into the pipe there, which I respect because you can get soft lock on this hole pretty easily if you're not paying attention. Oh, Noel's having some hard time on hole 8, though. You're not going to be able to pick that up. Nope, you got to go for it. Her angle, yeah, there you go. That's a better angle. Oh my goodness, 3 throws left. Okay, she'll be fine. Yeah, that was a rough hole 8. Oh my goodness. Whew. Down to her last throw, she got to hole 8. She got through it. Oh my goodness. Always a little terrifying when stuff like that happens within a race like this. Really, any run at all. Oh no, Erratics. Man, both runners just having a bad go at golf right now. Really got a feel for them. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I'm reacting the way I am just because I know how easily this can snowball into big time loss. But Noelle will make her way out of golf finally. Looks as though she's still around, yeah, about 11 minutes behind Erratics, which is good. She's been 12 minutes now actually. So it's not looking amazing, but she's still not too far behind. I think she's still on a pretty good PB pace. It's not going to be massive PB, but it still has a shot. So long as she can close out the rest of this cleanly, she should be fine. Just got to hope that her golf 6 goes well, most importantly. So yeah, she's working at a 12-minute deficit. So she's looking at a 3:20 time at the moment. But she really has to do well on the rest of this in order for that to be the case. Alright, hole 15, always a bit of a scary one. Erratic's able to get it through that second ramp. Let's see if he gets it through the third cleanly. He should be able to. Fairly simple angle. Yeah, that should be fine. Not going to go for any risky throw there. No need to. Alright. He does actually have a shot at golding this split. It's not a very great shot at golding, but he still has a good shot at least saving time against his PB here. So if he can save time here, he has a really good chance at PBing. Not that it's great, but opting not to go for the risky throw, which I did not expect him to go for at all, but you never know. As we saw from Noelle, I mean the new JCSS strat, it clearly does work. Noelle going in the wrong direction. Oh no. That's where experience playing this game really does come into play, and muscle memory in general. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it definitely does not help her case. Alrighty. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, Erratic's able to get hole 17. Skip. Loop throw on top of that. Does bounce in the direction you don't want it to, but that's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, he's gonna be fine. Nah, I thought it was a little too tight. Okay. He does have to finish cleanly here in order to still be ahead. It's not looking amazing for him, but we'll see. Noelle only needing 15 points after this animation. That's not going to be the loop throw. It's going to be down to the wire here for Erratics. Okay. Okay. That was a scary 18. He's barely going to be ahead at this point. But he still has a chance. Okay, he's gonna be about even with his PB time on that segment, but or it's gonna be a little more than it's gonna be losing a bit more time than you'd hope him to. Might just be minus 20, I think. Yeah, minus 20. Still decent. He's still at a decent pace. He just has to not lose more than 40 seconds closing out here against his gold, pretty much. His gold times. Okay, no weird interactions with that mound this time. That little hump in the Walnut Woods is always a little scary. But he does have a chance. And Noel, obviously on the boring mission. Main tip, obviously, to be not falling asleep during this mission. But we are down to two timed missions overlapping each other, so... I don't know, man. It's looking a little scary. It's looking like Erratix has a chance to PB, but it's gonna be pretty slim. So he really has to work his magic here. We'll see how each runner is able to finish this out, though. Alright. Yet another moment in the run where there's not really a lot happening, so... I'll just let the gameplay speak for itself for a little bit. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I don't think Erratix has any... audio, yeah. Unfortunately, no audio. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this new strategy out. Oh, wow. Huh. Huh. That's really cool. What the hell? Sorry, new strategy stuff going on in the TCS Discord. I was just taking a little peek. Alright. Yeah, Noel's still looking at a 12-minute deficit compared to Erratix, which it was, what, a 14-minute deficit? So if she can just stay below 14 minutes to close out this run, then it's going to be a little bit of a PB, but it's going to be a PB. But yeah, a lot of Noel's time loss, I mean, really just came down to just how she performed during cow tipping 1. It's really hard to save time if you don't know how the spawns and stuff work within those missions. Oh, not a good time loss. But yeah, it's looking like she's going to be a little over 12 minutes behind Erratix. So we'll see how she's able to close this out. But unfortunately for Erratix, no sub 3 today. He is coming up on that sub 3 timer, so... Yeah, he's going to split on the end chapter as well, but he has 3 missions left. He needs clean stomping and good RNG. Oh, split a little early, I think. Yeah, he does realize that. Good. Alright, I'm going to switch back to Barnyard, I think. Jammer. Alright, I'll save this for when he actually finishes the run. Alright. We'll just go back through the entirety. Fuck it. But yeah, if there's one thing that this run is if there's one thing I could say for sure, it's that RNG is going to play a pretty huge factor at the end of this run for Heretics. Just because of how close he is, he really does need good RNG on top of good execution, of course. But the most important part is the RNG going his way. Noel is going to be entering Golf 6 now as well. Yeah, she still has a chance to PB. It's just not as good as you'd like it to be. So hopefully she's able to get some nice clean throws here. Don't know if that's going to work. It does work. Never mind. Alright, so long as Heretics is able to get this last hole cleanly, he should be fine. I think he might even be golding this, possibly. Does gold it by 0.1, which is good. Noelle getting hole 11 skip first try, as she should. Ah, almost a perfect throw. Alrighty, but Heretics is going to be moving on finally to cow tipping 2, which has 15 seconds worth of time saved for those that can't see it. But it's going to come down to Coyote Showdown and cow tipping now. Really got to see how these two missions pan out for Heretics. Hopefully Noelle is able to get cleanly through this Golf 6 as well. Close to getting that hole 12 clean too. I believe... Oh, he's gonna park it, but he doesn't have to do that. That will lose him a tiny, tiny little bit. Okay. Let's see how this RNG goes. I'm full focused on Heretics right now. I hope, like I said, I hope Noelle is able to get through Golf 6 cleanly, as I'm going to be diverting my attention just a tiny little bit towards Heretics. He should know that the next one should be at the top, but he doesn't know that. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's going to be on your left side, I think. Oh, he got pretty unlucky on that spawn there. That's okay, though. Should still be fine. Just got to be careful for that aggro one. Yep, there you go. Wait for that guy to come down. That's going to be your next spawn. Top left, hopefully. Oh, he missed. Oh, no, there's another one. I didn't see that. Okay, so no luck on the top left yet. Oh, man. This is where the inexperience, or the lack of practice lately is going to come into play, though. He has not been practicing this game pretty much at all, which will make this a little harder to get down. That should work, yeah. Wait till it hits that raccoon. Perfect. It's a little bit behind. Looks like Noelle's getting some good throws. Oh? No. That's not going to go through. That would have been nice if it did, though. Noelle getting through 15 just fine. Ah, he's just missing that one. He's just missing that one. Okay, there you go. I hope hour 4 comes up in just a second. Should be hour 4 after this raccoon, right? Uh-oh. Is there one more? Okay. Hour 4 after this next raccoon. There we go. Oh, it's coming down to the wire. It really is. He needs to perform this super well. Okay. He's not getting these animation skips. His timing is just ever so slightly off. There's going to be one on your left side. I think it's always guaranteed left side after the 4th hour there. Okay, he has one more shot. I hope he recognizes that and is able to get the animation cancel. He's not. He's going to start losing time. Oh, no. Okay. He still has a chance. He still has a chance to maybe PB. It's going to really come down to these last spawns. Oh, my God. It's not going to be a big PB at all, but he has a shot. Come on, Erratix. Let's get some good luck in the chat for Erratix. Come on, let's send some good luck his way. He needs this. All right, he does get the animation cancel at the very least. He got the yawning animation cancel, which is it's good. That is good. Here we go. Noelle is on to hole 8 as well. 18, I mean, sorry. It's always a scary hole. Okay, good. It didn't bounce back through. All right. Let's see. Oh, you're both spawned there, man. Come on. Oh, he's already on the 3rd wave. I didn't see that. I would just shoot Wild Mike right away. Yeah, there you go. Hit that one. Okay. I think it's one more round of... Oh, no. Yeah, one more round and then it ends here. All right, that's his 3rd. Okay, it ends here. Oh. No, come on. Come on, Dag. Okay, he got 1, 2. I think that's going to be the... Oh, one more spawn. Oh, thank God. He waited. He waited. Okay. It's going to be in his bottom right, I think. Yep. And then in Wild Mike spawn. Hopefully it goes... Yeah, Wild Mike goes bottom right. That's good. Okay, I think he has one more set of 4. 1, 2, 3. This next one, is it going to be... It's going to be bottom right, I think, again. He doesn't realize that it's bottom right. Oh, it was actually top right. Never mind. Oh, he dodged it, though. He dodged the barrel. Got the animation skip. Got to get rid of some coyotes there. Fuck. I don't know if he can. It's going to come... Oh, he might be able to. One more. One more hit. Come on. Oh, okay. All right, one more wave. He has one more wave. He has to get through these next ones really quick. It's going to be 5-4-4. 5-4-5, I think. What did I hit Noelle with? I forgot. I sent it to her a while ago. 5-4-5-5. Okay, so I believe this is the 4. Oh no, I don't think he's gonna be able to PB. He wasted too much time on the end here. His aim is just a little bit too slow. That's it. I don't think he can. It ends here. Too little, too late. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, man. GG's though. He wins the race. He officially wins the race. Oh. Damn, dude. Let's put it this way, though. Erratix has not practiced this game in a really, really long time, and I think the fact that he was able to get a time as good as this one is insane. I can't believe it. Here, I'm gonna unmute real quick.
Zip is waiting until you're finished as well. Are you still ahead of PB?
Oh, I accidentally. Okay, well, I was trying to get some commentary. I'll wait. I'll wait till the end, I guess. Whoops. I was trying to get like some hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right, we're gonna let you finish, Noel, but good luck. All right, Erratix, man. I can't believe how close you came.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I know that I just barely missed PB, but I'm just not disappointed at all with this run.
Yeah, I don't blame you. How do you feel?
Good.
Good.
It's such an incredible run. I was not expecting to be this good after like such a massive de-rest, like not playing for 3 months.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I can't believe how close you came to actually getting PB. Like, this early on into your possible sub-3 grind that you've been talking about, like, it's insane how close you've been able to get, despite the fact that, you know, you've spent so much time away. I wonder if, like, watching me has helped you in any way, if that's, like, been a factor at all. Or
it does help keep things fresh in memory, because
right.
it's strangely like even when I'm watching you play, like I can sort of like feel the muscle memory for a lot of the gameplay, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean the only thing that really went wrong was just the spawns at the end of Coyote Showdown, and I think your aim was just a little bit like slower than like it should have been, but like aside from that, like, and animation cancels as well, I think was like the only other thing, but aside from that, you played that as well as you could.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I had some pretty crazy reactions to some of the things that went down during that run, so I'm sure you'll watch that back and get to appreciate everything.
Yeah. I mean, I have a stream on the right monitor. You could probably see me looking away at some points where I knew something crazy happened, just waiting to see if you would react to it too.
And I was telling the stream the whole time, I'm like, I can tell that he's looking at my stream, and I was trying to like send you messages of like, focus, don't look at me. But
yeah,
at that point you're already locked back in. But yeah, and I was also, you know, trying to show you that I was asleep during Joyride 5, of course. But I think
I was not actually looking at that. You were too busy falling asleep myself.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the only thing that costed you the run really was just the fact that you haven't practiced in a while. I was saying that pretty much the entire time, was just like, you know, not having that practice, not being able to warm up or anything like that really does, you know, do a number on gameplay. So
absolutely. And I think I felt that the most with the cow tipping missions.
Right.
Like for all of those, it felt like I really lacked the sort of muscle memory or the skill to aim quickly.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same thing with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And getting the animation skips, I also failed almost all of those.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Noelle. She was kind of struggling with those missions too. It was like mainly that and like the golfs that were really like, and I guess a little bit of the like the sharp squirters, but for the most part, like, you know, her getting JCSS the way she did was just a surprise to me. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was incredible.
I didn't realize she had put in that much practice to actually like get it down. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, I must say, like, I'm still very impressed with Noelle's run. As I just asked her after I finished, she is still ahead of PB despite the whole bike race 4
Yeah,
thing.
she lost like what 3 minutes there or something like that.
Yeah, something around
Oh
there.
man, like I felt so bad because she on the second time that she was doing that mission, she had like reset again, even though she only fell in the water like once, and I was like, you could still like finish the mission, like you could still beat Eddie. He was still like right there, like he could have still done it casually, but you know, when the nerves get to you, they get to you. So I understand.
Yeah.
But she still has a good chance of beating this time. We'll see how she finishes this out. It's still gonna be pretty down to the wire, but we'll see how it goes.
On the LRT timer, I missed sub 3 by 11 seconds.
So close.
Oh, that's so funny.
But you know, you got your second ever sub 310, I think. So that's really good. Unless did you get a time that was close to your PB before you quit? I feel like you
I
did.
don't think so. Because
Okay.
I think the last time I did any runs was during Barnyard Week.
Gotcha.
And at that point, I was not getting close anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, when you do Barnyard Month, I hope you're able to, you know, lock in and get that sub 3 because you have a lot more potential than you think. That's for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be a little bit until I actually get to the sub 3 grind. I am
Right.
very much planning to do it, but I want to do it after I'm finished with Vampire Survivors.
Oh, she got to
But
hour 3
in the
before the coyote spawn. That's good.
oh yeah,
Sorry, what were you
but
gonna say?
I am gonna try to keep up a little bit of practice in the meantime,
That's good.
just to be sharp when I start the actual grind.
Or just don't practice, because clearly you can, you know, still get close to PB without it.
Yeah, maybe if I just don't practice for like a year, I suddenly get sub 3.
Yeah. That's
But I
how it
would like
works.
to get it faster than that.
Of course, of course. Yeah, definitely still, like, obviously things to improve and whatnot, but, you know, just enjoy this for now, because this is an impressive feat to accomplish, I think, without any practice. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
There were a couple of things that happened during the run too that just felt absolutely crazy. I mean, aside from the pool, which I still can't believe,
Yeah.
like being what was it 25 seconds ahead out of pool despite failing pool
Yeah, that was...
is
Oh my god, dude. That was something else entirely.
yeah. And then yeah, two things that I found really funny. One was I think it was in Golf 1 at hole 9. The
Oh, yeah.
the ball like it just bounced back like out of almost out of the water.
I
I've
did,
never
yeah.
seen that.
I did see that. I did comment on it a little bit, so you can watch that back for when that happened. But yeah, that was yeah. And then something else happened with Noel's game. I forgot what it was, but something happened that was also like really weird. I was like, "What is happening?" Like it was really funny. Alrighty.
Another thing that I found really insane was for the super squirt,
Hmm.
the barn jump. I think I did like one jump too many, and I ended up like right at the center of the roof of the barn, and I had no idea where the bike was gonna land, but it looked like it was gonna land on the wrong side.
Yeah.
I couldn't really wait for it to land,
Mhm.
but when I look back, it had landed not only on the right side, but in the correct orientation too. So it was perfect.
I gotta watch that back because I think I was focusing on like Noel's screen or something else like that. So I definitely gotta look at that like again because I saw your reaction and I'm like, oh, what happened? So I'll look back at that once I'm able to. But Noelle is entering Coyote Showdown. She has to beat it. Let's see. She has about 3.5 minutes that or a little under 3.5 minutes that she has to beat it from now until the end. So let's see how this goes. I'll put her sound on real quick.
Good luck, Noelle.
Yes, good luck. Alright, Wild Mike. Yeah, I was also trying to keep track of the amount of coyotes that you had to deal with, like, during the mission and stuff. Because there's, like, a specific amount that you have to get rid of, basically. Okay, she has about, yeah, one more coyote she has to shoot.
I gotta say, Coyote Showdown is like the one mission where I feel like I know much less about it than you do.
Oh, it's something that's taken a lot of time and a lot of effort to really, like, understand, that's for sure. But I can send you the spawn rates that I sent Noelle.
That would be very handy for the sub 3 grind.
Yeah, not having an easy time with Dag at the moment. At least she's chipping away with hitting him, even if it's just with the tomato itself and not the barrel. So that will come in handy at some point. Alright, she should be done with it. I think, honestly, it's only going to take about 5 barrel hits at this point. Let's see, 3... I forgot what the count is. Alright, so it's 3, 4, 4. I think she's on... should be her second count of 4. It's going to be bottom right, I think. Oh, back right. There we go. It ends here. Boom. Oh!
Wow.
The barrel almost hit her right in the face. That was scary. Her timing is just ever so slightly off. Okay. Dag's being nice a little bit. Okay, does she get one more spawn? I was gonna say, this should be the last spawn of Dag, no matter what. Yeah. Okay. So it's gonna be, I believe, 5. Yeah, get Wild Mike. If this is the 4, then she only has to do 2 more 5s. Yeah, it's gonna be 5. And then she's got 4 right after this. So hopefully, oh, she gets 2 in the top left. That's good. Both of them right there. Alright, 5 again. Oh, good spawns. One more 5. Hold on. Can she do it? Is it going to be bottom right spawn? Oh no, back right. Alright, it ends here right after this coyote. Come on. Oh no. Oh no.
It's gonna be so close. No, stop. Oh no.
Let
no,
her...
no, no, no.
Oh boy. No way, that's not it. Oh, she just missed it.
Fuck.
That's it. Oh my god.
I think she PB by like 1 second.
My end is a 3:23:47.
Oh.
Fuck. Alright, let me unmute her. GG's, Noelle.
Oh my god.
GG.
I can't believe how close it was for both of you. It's actually insane. Did you get a 3:23:47 on your end as well?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's so ridiculously close.
That was a really good race though. And you both should be proud of your times because that was really impressive. On both ends.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of
I was
course.
also very impressed with Noelle's run.
Yeah. Especially that JCSS, that was something else. But GG's to you both. Eretics is the 3-time winner now, I guess.
Oh yeah, never
this
lost
guy,
an any percent race.
gosh, man, I gotta win one of these days. But thank you both for participating. This was a great time, and yeah, thank you both for participating again.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Happily, anytime. I think we will be doing another race at some point in the near future with Glow and 67. So stick around for that if you guys want to. But I'm gonna end the stream here, so I'll let you guys go. But yeah, thank you guys again. Have a good one. Alrighty. Alrighty, with that said, where is my cam? That is my cam. Oh shit, I forgot how slow it does that shit. Well, on that note, thank you all for coming along and being here. This was a great time, as always. I had a lovely, lovely time, and yeah, I just wanted to dedicate this last part of the stream real quick to the community. I think lately I've been having a bit of a hard time mentally, not just with this game and with myself, but like, or I guess, yeah, it is with myself because I'm the only one with my brain. But I think I've been having a bit of like a hard time just like appreciating what I've been able to do and accomplish with not only this game, but with everything else in my life. And, I think the ability to stream and to run this game has really just been a great opportunity that I've really not taken for granted pretty much at all. And I think when it comes down to it, I'm just really proud of what I've been able to accomplish and the community I've been able to grow. And I'm just really thankful and appreciative of all the people that have stuck around and been here. And I know like this is kind of coming from out of nowhere, but I really appreciate that. Like, I'm really proud. I'm just really proud of this community, and I'm ready to see it grow even more. And I'm really happy and glad that everyone is able to appreciate what I've been able to accomplish, as well as what the community has been able to accomplish. Because if it's not clear, this shit means a lot to me, and I'm really thankful for everyone who gives a damn about this game in the first place, because without you guys, I have no... Shut the fuck up. I have no idea where I'd be. So, thank you to the community. Thank you to the participants. Thank you to all the chatters. I appreciate and I love you all very, very much. And hopefully we get a nice little race between 67 and Glow pretty soon. I don't know when I'm going to return back to this game just yet, but so long as the community is doing runs and races, I will be commentating. I will be doing my damn best to make it what it needs to be, I really do appreciate all of you so much. So thank you again. On that note, what am I gonna do? Fuck, I don't have a song. Hold on. What song do I want to play? Let's just do golf, man. Classic golf. But on that note, I will see you all later. This has been a great time. Thank you again. Thank you again, everyone. I think I'm gonna raid someone actually, so let me just find someone real quick to raid. I guess we'll send you guys to Chris, like always. Chris the GOAT. Tell him to run the game or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna try to make this 67 Glow stuff happen. Glow is down, by the way, 67. So if you're free, then he's happy to do a race. So on that note, I will see you all later. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the sub lemon, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. We're not starting, but we're ending.